Welcome back, everybody. Let's say we actually do Chapter 5 today, and thankfully I'm feeling all better. It was probably due to the fact that it had been a while since I had gotten some vitamin D, which more often than not in my case, since I work overnight, means less of actually going and getting proper sunlight and more just taking a pill for vitamin D, but definitely feeling better this morning. So, I figured we were supposed to get this done. We might as well, right? So, there's one more thing I'm going to do, which I had forgotten about until basically right when I'd ended the stream, which is, there is one more Shine Sprite we can pick up, which is right here. Just forgot about this one. I don't think that's enough to get us anybody upgraded, but we can do it. Oh no, that is actually. Do we have somebody to upgrade? We do. We've got Ms. Mouse, and we'll have another person here. But that said, I don't think he officially joins your party until you get to Keelhaul Key. So, let's upgrade Ms. Mouse. You got anything for us? Nah, not really. So hopefully everybody's doing well today. It is Sunday, the 26th of May, 2024. Which means I'm heading back to work tonight. But that's not actually too terribly bad. It's amazing the difference of having 2 days off and having to work 5 days a week, or 1 day off and having to work 6 days a week, or 7 days on and not getting a day off for multiple weeks in a row, compared to basically having half the week off. It is a very, very big difference. Power up. I should have checked and actually seen what that did. Tease enemies with some slide moves, make them dizzy. Again, upgrades their health. Lets her do 1 point of damage more. Which, again, probably the ultimate actual upgrade more than the ability, but I don't ever remember using that move in particular per se. But either way, let's get the chapter started. So, in order to start, we gotta talk to Flavio. Hi. I'm called Flavio, how you say a trader, the richest man in Roadport. Monetary wealth gives me freedom, and freedom gives me wealth and spirit. Why is a man whose life is unchained made always long for more? What is missing? Probably thrills. Thrills, you say? I suppose one does need some thrills every now and again. There's nothing like the feeling of being alone on a mountain shivering to death. I know, foolish Flavio, not chills, a silly man, when I need are thrills. Wait, hold the horses, that is it. Now I think of it, I once heard of the treasure of Cortez, the Pirate King. So chapter is for me, a hunt for pirate treasure, why that just shrieks of romance and thrills and emotion, and even money. So yeah, this is the dude you gotta talk to get to Keelhaul Key. It's fine. He would, like, do something stupid and try to steal it, and then inevitably screw himself over.
Oh, yeah.
I like that both Flavio and Cortez, once you meet him, are just like, oh, wait, you just, like, wanted this? Like, just this one single piece of the treasure? Oh, yeah, you can have that. No big deal. No thanks, I don't really need a weather update for my computer. if I'm going to have to update Microsoft Teams soon. It's like doing a forced update on the 1st of July, and I'm like, cool, that will be happening on the 1st of July, because I will not be updating it sooner. Try not to update things early on, because that means it's more likely that it's full of bugs. And Teams is already not great, so... The elegant curve of her prow. Dude, keep it in your pants. We have no navigator. He ran off the dog. And helmsman for navigator. Oi, Flavio. Did you talking this it? If you don't mind me saying. I don't know why I gave him this accent. Because, like, the pirate things, it's less fun to do a pirate one and, like, make them all completely different. I didn't even realize that the toad in the back with the open mouth and or mustache, depending on what you prefer. I didn't even realize he was here. I mean, obviously Lord Dump is there in disguise, but, you know. Oh, I hear a child crying. Good, it is time for them to wake up. I agree. Now they get to deal with that. Alright, let's see what happens if we talk to you. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Yeah, he'll lampshade that later, provided they didn't change that dialogue. But yes, let's go find ourselves a Bob, which we already know where he is. I did this earlier in the play session, but if you have not unlocked the door to get to his house yet, you need to go to the far east side of Rogueport, use your Yoshi to flutter across the platform so you can get up to the roof, and then you can do the toilet paper roll ability to fall inside of his house, and he'll tell you to leave. But otherwise, this door will just naturally be open because we'll have unlocked it already. Never heard of the gent. Take your search elsewhere. I think you have to do that before talking to the barkeep, but I'm not completely sure about that. Remember Bobby? Yeah, I know him. You know that house just past the wall in the eastern part of town? That's his. But I think both you and he would be better off to just let him be. Ah, maybe you do have to talk to the barkeep first. And then we'll get to learn the sad backstory and the fact that the barkeep's kind of a dick. Faintest idea what you're talking about. Now, if you please, don't drop the act, Super Stash. We already found out you're Bobbery. No poppycock. Tell me what would you want if I wed this chap. So sorry, but you'll have to look elsewhere. I just set sail upon the sea nevermore. What's the next move, Chief? The salty dude's going nowhere fast. I like that they kind of give you a hint. It's a little vague, but it's not too terribly vague. Of like, the barkeep already was like hinting that he already knew something else. So, well, can't say that surprises me. The real question is, are you folks really sure you want him back out on the water? Yep. On an expedition to Keelhaul Key, rough seas out there. Most sailors meet their ends. Not old Bobbery though. Fact of the matter is, Admiral Bobbery's still sad, horribly sad. Probably end up crying, but I'll tell it to you if you really want me to. Please do, I can take it. His tale goes something like this. I'm not going to read the entire thing. Basically, Bobbery had a wife, cared about her a lot, but he, of course, had his own job in his own life, which forced them to be apart. And then, of course, unsurprisingly, she died while he was away. He blames himself for it, even though things like that aren't really anybody's fault, per se. That's someone speaking from experience, even though it was not somebody that I was married to. And of course, he's not been back out on the water since. Yep, we have no choice. I'll give you this. This is why I say the guy's kind of a dick. The letter Scarlet wrote to Bobbery just before she died. Why has he not given this to him yet? Like, I get, like, maybe not right away, because, you know, grief kind of goes in stages. You'd have to check and whatnot, but, like, how long has he been holding on to this thing? Like, if this has been, like, years, that's kind of a dick thing to do. I know he says he was too cowardly too, but, like, man, that's... Like, if you've got something that has the potential to make somebody help them get over their guilt, it's not a guarantee, but it's definitely a higher chance than just not doing anything. Why would you hold on to it for that long? I know, plot, but still. Hi again. And of course, she's going to say the same thing that I did, pretty much, which is the equivalent of, don't beat yourself up for it. And as melancholic as it sounds, I'm the firm believer in the difficult part is not dying, it's being the last person left, or the last one standing, or what have you. It's much more difficult to be the one that's still alive when your loved ones are all gone. As a side note, there's a really good video on that from Cinema Therapy when they did their therapist reacts to the movie Up, that talks about that, of whenever you're deeply connected with somebody, you kind of think after they pass away, if they do, like, well, that's it, my life is over, like, they were my whole reason for being, or whatever, but there is more out there. You may not see it right away, but that's the whole thing that they say in Up, is, like, adventure is out there, and the whole metaphor of him unable to physically turn the page, and then, of course, he does turn the page, both physically and metaphorically, and understands that, oh, that's the hint that you can get the egg there, I guess. And that's the hint, of course, that, he's slowly getting over his wife's death. People talk about the, like, opening scene being sad, and don't get me wrong, it very much is. But also that scene of, like, him turning the page and, like, seeing his wife's handwriting of, like, hey, thanks for the great adventure that was our lives, even though we didn't get to do everything we wanted to, like, thanks for the great adventure, now go have another one. Like, that's her giving him permission of, like, yeah, keep living your life. Even if I'm not here, keep living your life. Go do other things that you want to do. Just because I'm not there doesn't mean I'm not with you there in spirit. And that's why Up is a phenomenal, if not extremely sad movie. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And now we sail out into the sea. And away we go! Chapter 5, The Key to Pirates. Is it treasure, a ship, a peg leg, an eye patch, and an accent? I think I got them all. I think that's the key. Over the protests of my crew? What, did they, like, want to hang out until the weekend or something? I don't know. This reminds me of the fact most recently that whenever I had written something, and granted it was more melancholic, that I did it in the style of, like, the diary/journal entries. Which is very odd to write, since it's, like, one of your characters writing it. It means that, like, the whole chapter does not necessarily have to have perfect or even good grammar, necessarily. Great, he started again. A Tale of Bravery, right? Heard this one yesterday. Nowhere to escape to, we just have to listen until he's finished. Yeah, if you interrupt him mid-story, he absolutely loses it too. What's going on here? Ship stopping. Oi, Master Flavios. Alright, I've interrupted that wicked story, but the ship stopped. Of course, he doesn't care. Poke, poke. Well, that looks a bit foreboding, no? It's probably fine. It's a little fire ghost. Oh, it's the hand in the toilet from Majora's Mask, or Skyward Sword if you prefer. Wouldn't that be great if, like, this is just where Lord Crump died? He just died out at sea like this. I know nobody actually dies in this. They get separated, but nobody dies. But it would be really funny if, like, you just had him just, like, randomly die off here. Well, there goes Bobbery. An orderly life. With what? Like, there's no lifeboat. There goes Lord Dump. There goes random toad number 8,973. And now the ship actually dies. Rip. It was beloved by all. It will be missed by all. Lost 3 crew members, including Admiral Bobbery. It pains me to think they were taken by the Pirate King, that ghostly thing. What happens when we lost out hope, stricken in the wilds? But they've made base camp. Built a few huts from the timbers. Which also means that now we've got a place to rest if we need to. And here we are, officially. Hi. Ain't much, but we finished a wee hut for you to rest in. Come have a look. Nice, I haven't slept in 72 hours. Technically, probably more, apparently. I think there's a star piece here. Hey. Again. Look, you're both nerds. Like... And yes, your pants are quite fancy. They're green, so therefore they're fancy. Hi. Them ghosts are back. Well, they're just looking for some friends. Just like the ghosts in Creepy Steeple. They're just looking for friends. Hello. I love that the flags are just a shirt and a pair of nasty-ass underwear. Alright, new enemies for Chapter 5. Let's start with... That's It's an ember, sort of a pale blue flame spirit. Kind of spooky. Max SP is 8, attacks 3, defense is 0. Of course, since this thing is a fire, touching will hurt. Did Mama teach you that? Here's another thing you should know. Something horrible is likely to happen if you attack it with fire. Looks like it's susceptible to ice or explosive attacks, though, so that's something. If you get hit by a flame attack, you'll catch fire, so try to guard well. Alternatively... Nah, I'm not gonna do that. It would be funny, but no. I think for now we'll just kind of go with... Oh no, we do have Ice Smash on here. Cool. Let's do it. That is not easy to dodge. The fire effects look cool though. I don't really need that, so I'll pass on it. Yeah, probably not worth the ice effects, honestly, if it's only doing 1 more damage. Oh well. Still, they're good for star points. Hi, Soccer. How's it going? I'm doing pretty well. I've got a lot more energy than I did yesterday. Probably because it had been a while since I had gotten, I had one of the vitamin D pills. Can you, perhaps you can handle the exploration on this island? Can do. Yep. It'd been a while since I'd had a vitamin D pill, and so as a result I was starting to get tired because most people get that from the sunlight. But when you work overnight, you don't get a lot of sunlight. So, like, I was really just tired and lethargic, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't had a vitamin D pill in a while. That's probably why I'm not feeling great. And that, sure enough, that was exactly what it was. Working on some other things for YouTube land. Nice! I've been thinking about doing, like, more of the ranking videos and stuff. One of which was, like, doing the party members for this game or for the original game. It would be interesting to get back into those. It'll kind of depend on how my June goes as a whole. Because early June's going to be busy. And late June is either going to be not busy at all or extremely busy because of that guy getting electrocuted. No, it's going to be extremely busy because of our scheduler doing a dumb again. Hop in and watch a stream usually. Yeah, started a podcast, a couple Let's Plays. Nice! In a way, I do miss doing the Let's Plays. You can kind of edit things to make them look and feel different, but also, you know, it's with streaming, setting it up takes more time than like doing an individual edit, but once the setup is there, then the hard part is done. Head rattle may temporarily confuse an enemy, hindering their actions. Probably won't use that, but I'll rattle this guy's head. We tattled these guys in the glitz pit, so we don't need to do that here. Yeah, exactly. Record them with Twitch streams and then just edit them into 15-minute videos. I didn't do it up until the last 2 videos for this, and I haven't uploaded them yet, granted. But I'm just kind of going chapter by chapter, so like, Chapter 4 is one of its own videos, Chapter 5 is one of its own. I did the first half of the side quests for the Trouble Center, so that'll be its own video, that kind of thing. Curd Shell. Mostly because, like, I knew I wanted to play it when it released, but also I was like, I don't know if I'd just have it be a one-off for the time being and come back and do it in full later, or 100% it, or whatever it is. FP briefly cover. Nice. I had my druthers about it. That would always be the one that I would pick. Yeah, I'd be down for doing a podcast or doing an interview on a podcast. It's been a while since I've like been on one, and it's also probably because most of the people I hang out with on Discord that we would consider doing a podcast, because we've talked about it, are all at a convention right now, which is on the other side of the world, which is why I'm not there with them this year, but I'm going to try and go next year. Oh right, these guys can duplicate. Well, that's a pain. I have had the itch recently to go play Mario Superstar Baseball. Maybe if we finish Chapter 5 and I don't feel like going into Chapter 6, maybe we'll do a little bit of that. Do like a clean file or something. Recently I was playing a bunch of games and doing like kind of one-off stuff for a friend. This was in the fall while they were recovering from surgery. And so one of the ones I did was getting all of the MVPs for the characters in Superstar Baseball, which in that game all you have to do is just play like a 5-inning game in exhibition, and all you have to do is make them the MVP, which basically just means make them pitch, and that will usually be enough. So that part's not too terribly difficult. Look at all that money. These doesn't look like it. Alright. Now I want that Mini Mr. Mini. I actually don't care about it that much, but I'll take it. Bonk. Let's see if I can use this first turn to get everyone out except for that second Piranha Plant. Or that could happen, and then I don't have to worry about them attacking me at all. That also works too. Let's go get rid of the first one. Set for Thursday with NCS. Nice. Nice. I've actually been rewatching his Earthbound race with Poltergeist. I'm trying to do them after 9 on Tuesdays, Thursdays. Kids, I'll have to add you on Discord. Yeah, by all means, do add me on Discord. And Thursdays actually work perfectly because Thursdays are one of my nights off. Normally, Icarus and I do streams, but she's going to be busy the next 3 weeks, so I actually don't have anything planned on Thursdays now. So that actually literally works perfectly. That is very well timed. She works at a college, and obviously they're at the summer right now, but they have a summer program that's going on, and she's working that summer program, so that's why she's not able to do anything. Future Piranha, max HP is 8, attack is 3, defense is 0, it bites and it attacks with super rank poison breath. Breath mint, table 4. If you get poisoned, your HP will slowly go down, so, you know, try not to do that. Yeah, one typically tries to avoid getting poisoned. Yeah, I've definitely thought about doing, like, podcasts in general. Like, mostly having people on that I know of, like, having Harmless Guy on, because he got me into Zelda and, like, talking about the different Zelda games, because we have a couple that overlap in which ones we like, but oddly enough, like, we're almost complete opposites on other. Like, he's big on, like, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm not super big on Tears of the Kingdom. I like Skyward Sword and he hates it. So it'd be interesting to see like the two differing opinions there. How's this compared to OG GameCube? I think probably the biggest thing, honestly, because it's definitely not bad, it's been a lot of fun to play. I think the biggest thing is just, like, having the accessibility for people to play this that did not have the opportunity to play this growing up, because either they didn't have the money for it, or, you know, the game's 20 years old, so they just couldn't play it at the time because they were either too young or just straight up not alive at that point. So I do like that there's probably a fair few people out there that, like, played this as kids, like, that were about my age when this came out, like 8, 9, 10, that are, you know, 28, 29, 30 now, and they're getting to play this potentially with their kids watching or also playing with their kids, which is a really cool thought. I do like some of the small changes they've made. The big thing is I love the lighting. They've got new music for it, obviously, that you can change back to the original with a badge that I've picked up. They have a partner wheel, so you don't have to go into the start menu. You can just, like, switch to whoever you want right here. The game's got a lot more hilariously, like, small, mature themes, like whenever you have to write your character's name on them to get into Chapter 4. Flurry has a rather perverse remark if you have her outside in your party. One of the things that was in the original game that, of course, did not make it over here for the original game was that Flurry pretty much openly says that she was initially, instead of being one of the sisters, was a brother, so she has transitioned from being into, from male to female, or at the very least, prefers to go by female. We can't see body parts and all that, which is probably for the best. So that part's been really nice. Let me find that badge real quick. It's going to be at the bottom. So yeah, nostalgic tunes. You can change the music back to the OG GameCube tracks. I think the only, like, and it's definitely, I wouldn't consider bad, it's just, like, taking a lot of adjustment to getting used to, is, having to hit the, or rather, having to hit the A button to go down pipes rather than holding down, which has thrown me off a lot, probably not just because of the original Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, but just the Mario franchise as a whole. Because, you know, that's kicking out muscle memory from 30 years worth of gameplay. Well, probably closer to 20 years worth of gameplay, but that's still a lot of muscle memory. That's a lot of muscle memory that I'm having to remove. I'm impressed I got that in one try. I really didn't think I was going to. And then the other small thing was, it just feels like the battles still go at a fine speed, but it feels like, for some reason, and maybe it's my imagination, we'll use this, I guess. Yeah, could be my imagination, but it feels like exiting the battle, like, oh, hey, you got the star points and, like, the animation of Mario, like, dusting off his cap or whatever. You used to be able to, like, hold down or tap the A button to make that go by faster, and you can't do that anymore, but that's a very small nitpick, honestly. That guy's got an ice power. So what say we just don't give him the opportunity to use that? It does look super pretty, though. The lighting has been my favorite change, honestly. The lighting is phenomenal. Oh, speaking of Harmless Guy, playing Tears of the Kingdom. I know he wanted to play it week before last, but his wife was out of town because they're playing it side by side, so he could play it, but he didn't want to do any, like, the story beats. So we kind of hung out and I let him play some Dragon Quest Builders 2 because he and I both love Toriyama's games, and he's played through most of the first one and really loved it. And I've beaten the first one and now the second one and really loved both of those. So gave him a chance to see how it played differently from the original. Two points. But yeah, Soccer, the link for my group Discord is down in the bottom of the channel, and then you can just, like, poke me specifically yourself. Can't carry more items. See, I thought I was gonna have the opposite. Well, I guess I have a Volt Mush. Yeah, I don't really... Oops. I feel like the debuffs, like, stat buffs and debuffs are, like, they're so 50-50 in games. They're so 50-50. There's some where it's like, yeah, these are the best parts of the game, like Mother 3. And then there's others where I'm like, yeah, I really don't need those. I'll live without them. Well, I guess I'll miss out on those coins, but wow, those lasted a long time. That was another small quality of life upgrade for sure, was the coins don't fly all over the place anymore, because usually if you won a battle where you were standing here, they'd put like a ring of coins around you, so like half of them would just fall off, but it doesn't do that anymore, which is a nice little small change, but it is very much appreciated. Yeah, a literal explosion of coins, pretty much. This cursed ghost blast it all. There's Bobbery, Lord Dump, and Toad number whatever I named him. We had to take on 3 of these earlier, my dude. We can take on 2. That was a pretty good throw, considering he had no arms. Number 69. Yeah, nice. There we go. This reminds me of that scene in Final Fantasy X where we, like, leave Kamari behind, and then we just immediately go back, and it was like, why did we do this? Ah, here it is. Since you haven't played Thousand Year Door, this is, like, one of the big bads. Not the big bad, but, like, the underling of the big bad, and everybody knows it, because he's been around since the beginning of the game. Hey, you at the screen, I'm talking to you. Maybe pretty obvious to you who I really am, but no telling Mario, or else. Even if I were to tell Mario, he doesn't really pay attention, so it's probably fine. X is my favorite Final Fantasy game. It's so good. Like, honestly, X is a lot of fun. Icarus and I played X, so it's on our archive page. I don't know if it was, like, a playthrough for her as much as it was me, but, like, it still makes me laugh. Like, it's still, I think, a really great game, for sure. The fact that it got criticized by a lot of people for the story being too easy to understand still baffles me. Like, there's something wrong with the story being easy to understand. It's not bad or anything, but yeah, apparently some people thought it was too easy to understand, and therefore that made the game bad. I don't know why. The laugh scene. Oh my god, yes. The laugh scene. Of course, the whole joke of that laugh scene is, like, it's supposed to be bad, right? That's the whole thing. And, like, if you think it sounds funny in the English version, go listen to it in the Japanese version. At least the English version, that laugh sounds human. The Japanese one, it doesn't even sound human. It's nothing short of horrifying, and it's great. Okay, there's Ice Power, which I'm probably equipping right now. Oh, and that only takes 1. Nice. Toss. Honestly, if Ice Smash is only going to do 1 more damage than Power Smash, probably getting rid of Ice Smash. So I can still hit them with a hammer without even having the ice effect, but I can't jump on them without the ice effect, so... Yeah, you get Kamari at the beginning, and you get Orani's no longer used. Yeah, I remember watching NCS's playthrough of Final Fantasy X, and I kind of did the same thing that he did with Kamari. I just made him a second thief. In particular for whenever the group gets split up between the people that can swim underwater and the people that can't, so that I would have a thief on me at all times, or being able to steal twice as quickly. And that was basically what I used him for. He's just got the downside of that blue mage jack of all trades. Like, you can make him like any character, but until basically end of post game, you can make him like Tidus, but he won't be as good as Tidus. You can make him like Auron, he won't be as good as Auron. You build him anyway, he just won't be as good as that actual character, which is probably why Riku's the best spot to put him in, because at the very least he gets a lot of health and is quick and can steal, which helps for the Biron and Yankee fight to get the key spheres. Just to show off the fact that the ice ability works, let's do this. That also kills him in 1 attack, so there's that. There we go, perfect. I actually did it. That's the first time I've done it perfectly. I've missed that bar by a lot every other time. I'm gonna run him as a red mage. That's also fair. I'm used to the red mages of old. Like, when I say old Final Fantasy, I mean like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3 old. It's like I always put a red mage on my team for Final Fantasy 1. That's like red mage and thief were the two I always used. I mixed up the others, but red mage and thief are always on my team. Always. It's been a hot minute since I played one of the older Final Fantasies, not counting 10. Should get around to beating some of the ones that I haven't. Believe it or not, for the fact that I've beaten at least in the main Final Fantasy series, despite the fact I've beat about half of them, I've not beaten 7. I've beaten 1 through 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, but I've heard 8's pretty bad. 9, 10, 11, and nothing past that, so roughly half. But I can probably live without playing 8 if it's as bad as people say it is. I did genuinely think about having Icarus do Final Fantasy 1 as like a one-off episode, just to show her like how insane it used to be of like, alright, you picked your characters, you're in the overworld, go. Go run around, go figure it out. But I wanted one that she could actually like play and enjoy, so I felt like 10 was the best option of the ones that I had. All we can get here. I know the Chocola Cola is back at the base camp. Flavio's got it. Show up in overworld, find a creature, 15. Yeah, that too. Also that. Which I guess we've kind of run back into that now with games like Breath of the Wild. Of like, you run into an area where like, you've got 6 or 7 hearts and a creature just insta-kills you in one hit. And it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here yet. Got it. At least you get a slight warning with those games of, you know, creature's a different color or has a different looking weapon or something, but in the days of old, not so much. I should have checked to see if I put on Spike Shield. I don't remember if I did that or not. Well, let's do something different instead. Oh yeah, this was a small complaint, but I get why, because of how broken Art Attack used to be. This controls very poorly. Like, I'm not making this look easy, but that's because it's actually not. It used to be a lot easier. It was a lot less sensitive. It's too sensitive now. And it shows if you're controlling it, because yikes. Just trying to avoid that fight. I'm surprised these guys respawn, because most of the time, unless you've just, like, left the area, not gone to a different screen, but, like, full left the area, enemies didn't really seem to respawn, so I'm kind of surprised they did here. It's probably better I get rid of this. It's just gonna be a pain. Check and see if I put on Spike Shield, though. I know I've got it. I just don't remember if I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait and put this on when I get a level. Also, definitely a lot of getting used to the timing with things, as you can see. Ow. Oh, that's Coops. Okay. Well, we can get rid of one of them for sure. You know what? Now's as good a time as any. Let's find out if I have Spike Shield. Nope. And let's just swap Coops out, I guess. Put in Vivian. Sure, why not? We haven't done Fiery Jinx yet, even though it could be used better here. Didn't get all the hits, but oh well. It's weird, doing the button prompts is actually like a tiny bit harder because, again, the muscle memory of the GameCube controller where A, B, X, and Y aren't... None of the buttons feel the same because A is a bigger button than B, X, or Y. B is a smaller button that's round. X and Y are the same button, but one's placed horizontally and the other vertically. So it's a lot easier to hit the buttons. Here it's like, now there are 4 buttons and they're all the same shape and size. It's just up, down, left, right, so... Use or toss something. Alright, we'll use this, I guess. It's cool getting to talk to people watching YouTube. Right? It's like... I'm sure that's like a very surreal experience. It's weird because I don't like watch a lot of streaming. It's mostly because I'm probably like being more social these days, which is odd, but because I'm spending time on like VR and on Discord and whatnot. There's the wrong button there. Also, there's the stylish for that normal hit. I don't think I've shown that off yet. Aw, you jackass. Why would you duplicate right before you're gonna die? Oh well, no big deal. I can get this guy. Oh, and they duplicate with the same amount they had. Okay, well in that case... Quick, someone blow a small gust of wind at that guy. Yeah, we're almost to a level. I might try to get into one more fight before I get back just to get that level. See if there's anything out here. There we go. Yeah, it's like weird thinking like, oh yeah, I remember watching this person growing up, which I'm sure makes them think, I'm not that old, but now I'm the one that's grown up and other people are like, I remember watching you growing up, and I'm like, oh, don't remind me. It's so weird to think I'm gonna be freaking 30 in 9 months from now. Like, how did that happen? What? Like, I can't be 30. My teachers in high school were, like, about 30. How did that happen? What? Ugh. I tell you, man. Boys are not having good luck over there. Yeah, I'm hoping with having more free time that I'll be able to dedicate more time to doing stuff like that, of being more social and what have you. Because I've gotten lucky in being able to do that in the last year, but it's only been in the last, like, month. Not even month, like half a month. That I've actually had the time to do it. Josh Jepson, I was like, actually, you're gonna be. Oh man, yeah, I guess he is. I think my favorite one is, I think he actually did indirectly. I don't think it was a tweet. I think he had like left a comment on my video, or I'd left on his of like, I had done a huge batch recording for Mario Galaxy 2, and completely unbeknownst to each other, we both posted the first episode within an hour of each other. Or no, that's not what it was. It was when I went to go record it, I'd seen he had posted the first video, and I was just like, oh hey, we'll just give him a quick little shout out since I'm also playing this game right now. I think that's actually the last time I played Galaxy 2 was when I did that LP. I do not think I've touched it since. I played Galaxy 1 a bunch because I like that game more, but I don't think I played Galaxy 2. But yeah, it's like such a baffling and surreal experience of being able to actually communicate directly with like NCS, Josh, John, like people that have seen my comments, be it through Coliseum or their own streams, and actually responding. It's I don't know why that's such a surreal experience, but it is. It's probably because growing up, like, I live in a place that's, like, very, conservative Christian, video games of the devil. So, not a lot of people like me here, because by this point in time, most of those people have, you know, they've, moved elsewhere. A big idea for an LP, want to do with LPers? Ooh, that could be interesting. We're dealing with sort of the last request, am I correct? Well, Flavia has no choice. I found it on the beach, but for this noble cause, I yield. However, Cola is part of our supplies, which we need to survive, so I'll need to find something to eat to replace this. Which is why I brought the coconut with me. You will need some of those for recipes, but since this is just the one, I think it's just literally anything that can be eaten. It's island fair, but it's somewhat cliched. Perhaps I set my hopes too high for a foraging non-gourmand such as you. Well, here you go. Interesting, he didn't show off that he had that gem last time in the original game. You just kind of have to remember that he had it with you, but that's not too big a deal. I'm gonna check and sell some of these items. I'm running Item Hog, which is an item that like has enemies drops will have enemies drop items more frequently, which is why, as a result, I keep running out of storage space. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's gotta go. That's gotta go. Ever play Legend of Dragoon? I did not. Did not play Legend of Dragoon. Alright, let's store. Just gonna store stuff I think I'll need for recipes and whatnot. That gives us 5 slots. That's probably okay. Yeah, one of the nice things about having the blanket releases for games remastered or even original, honestly, and also having things like Steam now means that and emulation too, is that I get to play all this stuff that I didn't growing up, usually because it just wasn't on the console that I had. Like, I was the Nintendo kid in my family growing up. My cousin was the PlayStation kid, but he wasn't super heavy into video games, but I got to play a little bit of what he had, which was mostly like Sly Cooper and Halo. Did not mean to get in that fight, but oh well. And we didn't really have anybody that was the Xbox kid in my family growing up. And even then, I only saw my cousin like once a year. It was basically at Thanksgiving, and that was it. Ooh, that could be interesting. I've actually done some voice work before. It's been minor stuff. It hasn't been for LPs, but I have been doing more voice work as a whole. If you ever watched, and it was mostly based on this, and it was like half instinct and half also just because I thought it would be funny. I've been doing a little bit of voice work in the game as Flurry, and I've been treating Flurry as Nintendo Capri Sun did with the Magypsies in Mother 3. Just because, like, she, you know, fits the type really well. Like, you know, big, curvy, giant lipstick, you know, all that kind of fit pretty well. She's, like, over the top and very extra. I'm sure in part of that it's probably due to the fact that I've actually gotten back into writing in the last couple years more, now that I've not only got the experience, but I've also got like the academic experience of having the bachelor's and whatnot since 2019, fall of 2019. So almost 5 years. Wow. So like as a result, I've been better at like learning how to create characters and not make them one-dimensional. So since I've been putting more heart into them, I've thought about like what they would sound like more in terms of their voice, not just how they act and react. There you go. You can have your Coke. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna pour one out for the boys. I'm gonna very quickly keep hitting the button. You might be able to still hear me in the background, and grab a Coke of my own. We'll pour one out for the boys. And now he can die in peace, except he's not actually dead because he's just asleep. Bonk. Out of school since 2009. Man, that is insane. Yeah, I've been out of high school since 2013 and out of university since 2019. There we go. Where are those pirates? I mean, we could hit him again. You know, it's... Sorry, my dude. I'd like to hope, as somebody who believes in there being a life after death, that just after it's over, be it... whether it's all a simulation... or, you know, whether it actually was the real deal is, like, after everybody's gone and what have you. As they're talking about how Bobbery works in fights. I'd imagine, like, everybody that you knew in any capacity, that you were close with at any capacity, whether they had, you know, like, had a falling out or relationship ended well, or they passed away or whatever, that have already died, are just, like, super excited to see you. Like, it's just basically getting to, like... It'd be like going to a convention, but like literally every single person that you've missed because they passed away is there. Like, you know that they're going to be there. You know that they're going to be able to spend time with you. And it just lasts forever, basically. But who can say? So yeah, Bobbery can make things explode outside of battle. He can make things explode inside of battle. That's basically how he works. I don't think we can do anything here yet. It might have missed in the tutorial, but I think you can make him... Yeah, you make him explode a little bit quicker if you need to by just hitting the X button again. Alright, back to the beginning once again. That was another nice quality of life upgrade, is in a Creepy Steeple you were doing a lot of this back and forth, but they put a pipe between Twilight Town and Creepy Steeple so you could just take the pipe and not having to keep running through all the enemy fights. There we go. What'd you name your Yoshi? I went with a very unconventional one. I went with, there it is, Ballistic. It's technically misspelled because you only get 8 characters. There technically should be 2 L's there. But Ballistic is based on a Hot Wheels car growing up. It was like the big green car for Hot Wheels World Race, which was driven by Banjo Castillo. So he was the leader of the green team, the street breed. So since I got a green Yoshi, I figured we'll go with Ballistic. Because, you know, you ride around Yoshi like a car. I figured a horse joke has already been done quite a bit. So we'll do a car. So, Ballistic. Yeah. Alright. You'd rather talk to me. Yeah, I've never heard somebody talk so much yet say so little. It's one of my favorite lines from Fire Emblem 10, which is Radiant Dawn. I think Torneo says it about... it's either Torneo or Soph says it about Izuka in Part 1. And it's really good. You see, I'm afraid I have soiled myself, and therefore, since I have poop in my underwear, I do not want to move. That's clearly what it is. I forgot that happened. Literally, everyone's like, yep, later, nerd. And he's like, you all suck. That sound effect. Instead of it being all bright and cheery, it's like, yep, you're stuck with this nerd. That's hilarious. Yeah, look at that expert dodging. Did you ever play the Hot Wheels game that came out for PC? There were a couple that came out for PC. I did play and have World Race growing up as a kid. I actually have it on GameCube. We played that semi-recently. That's on the archive page as well, I believe. If not, it'll be up soon. I also had Stunt Track Challenge, which was PC and PlayStation, maybe Xbox, but not Nintendo, which is a shame because I'd love to be able to pick it up for like GameCube or whatever it would be on for that era of console. So those, I think, were the two Hot Wheels games I had growing up for PC. I'm pretty sure it was those two. But I did love playing World Race as a kid. It's a shame that the GameCube port, you actually can't 100% it. It's not possible to, because there's some of the rings in the stages that you can't collect. Because your cars can't go high enough even with the boost. Even if you pick somebody with, like, max Nitrox boost, you still can't get it. So that's a bit of a shame. The good news is it's a car that kind of stinks anyway, and so it's not one that I'm, like, too terribly disappointed that I wouldn't be able to pick up. But I did love playing that game as a kid. I still like it now. It's a very simplistic game, but it's still a lot of fun. Let's throw a Bobbery in here. Why not? Just to show him off. Nice. Also, bear in mind, he hasn't been upgraded. That's why he's doing so little damage with that explosion. But yeah, no, I'm very much a Hot Wheels kid growing up. I watched World Race. I still have the DVD. I watched Acceleracers. I still have all those DVDs. I killed for an Acceleracers game on console. I know that there was like an online one you could play, but it didn't control the best. Like, it was just a flash game. And it was okay, but yeah, it didn't control the best, sadly. Spot now where you can put something. Yep. Sure enough does. Hi, we're gonna need that thing. Skull Gem. Hot Wheels Unleashed, yeah. Also true. Yeah, the week before this came out, because this came out on the 23rd, so this would have been the, what, the 16th, 17th? We did a bunch of one-off games, because we didn't want to start a new project, because we knew we were going into this. And even if Icarus couldn't play all of it, we knew that, let's see. 3 times red. Okay, so we need to ground pound that 3, and then hit the blue one with the hammer 4. Got it. So we did like a bunch of 30 minutes of each game. So we did a couple of Hot Wheels games, World Race being one of them. There we go. That's a menacing camera movement right there. They even put a little bomb target just in case you're not clear on what to do. That's a nice touch. That wasn't there in the first game. You probably just assumed it was Bobbery because you know, just got him. There we go. Mario, what were you thinking? That jump was part of the House of Flavio. You can have it back. I don't need it anymore. I think he ends up having to give it to Cortez later on. I don't remember entirely. I do like this chapter quite a lot, though. Yeah, go have fun with doing whatever it is you're going to do. Onward to the actual main part of the dungeon here. This is pretty much just doing the rest of this dungeon for the rest of Chapter 5. But it's a pretty big dungeon, so still a lot to go here. Ooh, pretty. We need that thing to put in the thing to open the other thing to get the treasure thing. Yeah, pretty much. Yo, dog, I heard you like time. You need the Ocarina of Time to play the Song of Time in front of the Door of Time. There might be a star piece in here. Ooh. Oh no, it's a ghost. It's the ghost of the springboards I keep landing on by accident. Ooh. Oh, hey. Oops. I'm not sure how I missed that guy, but oh well. We haven't fought these yet, so... Still need to put on that spike shield, but... Thankfully... There's not really any enemies in this area that have spikes on them. It's more the fire enemies that are the issue. So it's not too big a deal right now. Of time. Yeah, pretty much. One of the arguments I make for Majora's Mask being the game that I like more is that it does the time thing better than the game with time in its title. Max SP is 6, attacks 4, defense is 0 for the lava bubble. Its HP and different attack power may be different for embers, but otherwise it's the same. Since it's made of fire, try not to touch it because it'll burn you. I do appreciate that you think, like, okay, why do these show up later when their HP isn't as high, but, like, they're red flames instead of blue, so they should be technically weaker because blue flames are hotter. Nice little touch. Love the time mechanics in Majora's Mask, just absolutely wonderful. Done so much better than Ocarina, but like, just the way it's done there, like, it means that every character matters, like even the small characters, because they're all actually progressing in time. They're progressing forward in time as opposed to just being at, you know, for any of the small characters. Some of the main ones will change slightly depending on where you are, but they're only in either present or past, or future or present, depending on how you want to look at the game. They're only in one of those 2 points at any given time. The other ones are just constantly moving around because, you know, there's an actual timer at the bottom that's moving forward, so they're like moving around in time with when they need to go run their errands or do whatever it is that they're gonna do. Think about getting both on the 3DS. I'd recommend staying away from the 3DS ports, personally. They're not... They move items around. I don't know why. Like, they move around bottle locations and stuff like that. The text speed up is definitely nicer, and if you can only play it on 3DS, then go for it. But just bear in mind, if you've got the memorization down pat for like, oh, this is going to be a bottle, this is going to be whatever, they might have changed location. So that part's kind of a little bit of a bummer. Thankfully, the gyro controls work just fine. That part was not an issue. So if you're worried about that, that should be fine. Oh, no thanks. I really don't want to land on that. Of course, there's like a million ways to play either of those now. My recommendations overall would be NSO, Nintendo Switch Online, the N64 one. I think you have to have the Deluxe, so if you don't want to do that, that's totally valid. So you can play both of them on NSO, or, and again, I probably wouldn't recommend the second one. I would likely say NSO is more likely of the two. The other one I'd recommend would be having the Collector's Edition on GameCube, because that's got Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Ocarina, and Majora. But good luck finding that for cheap, so... But yeah, if you like the Pro Controller for the Switch, NSOs will work just fine, honestly. But if you don't want to have to pay for NSO, that's also entirely valid. In which case, I'd probably say the cheapest and easiest bet is likely 3DS, but I have not looked up those prices recently, so I cannot say that for certain. Nice, I thought I was going to have to duck underneath the thing one more time there. Knew that was coming. Nice try, suckers. Surprised it took that long for them to fire, honestly. I know, I'm always kind of picky with... It's nice having the NSO and whatnot, but like I'm always picky with having any copy of a game that's not physical. Any digital, doesn't matter how it's done, I'm always a little bit picky about it because you're not technically buying it. I know you're buying it, but like they have the right to remove it off of their store or just discontinue it whenever. As opposed to having the physical copy where they can't really do that. So I always like having the physical copy. That's why I have a physical copy of this. I didn't do the digital download. I don't like going to GameStop, but I do like having the physical copy. So what are you going to do, right? That's a Bill Blaster. It's a cannon that shoots bullet bills. Maxes PS5 and defenses too. It does not attack directly, but it shoots bullet bills at you. I know they're annoying, but take out the Bill Blaster first. How many of those things will it shoot at us? It will not stop shooting at you, actually. Yeah, I love the physical copies, personally. It's also nice just being able to display them, like, on my shelf. I probably should take a picture and post that at some point of, like, all the ones that are there. But I love having the ability to, like, physically display them, like, pull each one out. If it's an old enough one, look at the manual. Love that. That's a bullet bill. It attacks from after being shot from a Bill Blaster. Max HP is 2, attack is 4, defense is 1. Take care of it quickly or it'll totally wail into you mosh pit style. Break out the razors, I guess. I don't know. Another quality of life. Maybe it's my imagination, that roulette is way easier to hit than it was in the original game. I think I've missed it like twice the entire game when I was actually like trying to get it. I'm not counting ones where I just said I didn't care. Yeah, we'll go after that cannon. Thanks for the charm. That probably will not, yeah, I was gonna say that will likely not have any use here. But no big deal. It also could be that I've been getting lucky with like the stage effects of like things getting dropped on either you or the enemy, the fog, the little things in the front, freezing characters, whatever. But it seems like it's a lot more balanced to damage the game, or to damage the enemy rather than to damage you. I mean, it's done that to me from time to time, but it felt like it happened all the time in the original. Where it was split probably about 65-35 maybe. So we're saying like for every 3 times that something happened on stage negative, it would happen to you, and the other 1/3 it would happen to the opponent. It feels like it's probably flipped now. It's probably like 1 out of every 3, maybe 1 out of every 4 even. It'll be bad for you, but otherwise it'll be bad for the enemy. Yeah, it's just so nice to not be able to lose the... Like, unless you yourself lose the copy. Like, you know, you put it away somewhere and forget where it is. But yeah, otherwise you cannot lose the copy. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything with that right now. I think I need the ability that's later on. These guys have 8 health. I'm gonna power smash anyway, just make absolutely sure I get rid of this first one. Big bomb I think is what it's called. Bulky bomb, close. I think it's like the other bombs, but it's huge. Max HP is 6, attack is 2, defense is 1. It's weird, it never attacks, but once its fuse is lit, it'll blow up on its own eventually. I don't mind it taking itself out of the battle, but that explosion hurts us too. When it powers up, that attack powers at 8, so watch out. Firing explosions make them blow up immediately, so I guess setting it off early is one strategy. You can run too, but if you're gonna fight, beat it before it goes off. Yeah, I think since it detonates early like that, you can do stuff like, if you're gonna make it explode. Bobbery is one option, but the other main one that I usually did was hitting it with a shell. but that was for the base ones. I think this was enough damage, right? Yeah, it was. Okay. That was a pretty good experience for not being too terribly bad. If you had to fight a huge group of them, they could be a little overwhelming, but otherwise not too bad. But if that was the case, you could probably just Earth Tremor and Power Shell. As long as you got stuff that multi-targets, you should be fine. Yep, beat it before it goes off. Or beat it to make it go off. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of what seems like intentional innuendos in the remake, which I kind of approve of. Because again, the game's kind of for people that grew up with this game initially, so they're all adults now. I just realized we've been going a while, and I still have not, like, despite the fact that I'm already 2/3 of the way to the next level, I've not done anything with the current badge points that I just got from the previous one. Yep, they're just still sitting there. Yeah, because again, I don't really need Spike Shield right now. I'll probably put on something for the time being and then swap it out for one of the power pluses. Either my partner's or mine. Probably my partner's, honestly. So I think for now we'll throw on Pretty Lucky Partner. I don't really have any, like, Last Stand partners, so I guess we'll throw Close Call back on, though I doubt I'm going to need that. With how my badges are right now, there's just like a lot of evasion in my build as a result. If I had the BP for it, I could basically get Mario to have about 75 to 80% evasion, so he would dodge almost every attack just naturally. And then when he's in danger, it would make his evasion go even higher, so he probably just wouldn't be able to get hit at all. Oh wait, these are new enemies. I should probably tattle them then. That's a Parabuzzy. Buzzy Beetle with wings. Max PS 5, attacks 3, defenses 4. I guess those stats are just like a Buzzy. Fire and explosions have no effect, so don't bother, okay? Flip it over. Defense goes down to 0, so jump on it first. Yeah, we never ran into these at the creepy steeple area. They just never came up. The spiked ones did and the normal ones did, but these guys never did. Whatever it's into. Yeah, exactly. You know, we don't judge. It's fine. As long as it's not directly harmful to your life or to somebody else's, like, go for it. Probably not your stereotypical Bible Belt resident by saying that, but you know what? I think I'll get over it. Don't worry, my area will eventually get over that, but it'll probably be around the time that, you know, a couple more generations die out and that certain philosophies are gone and some of the generational trauma is gone, you know, all your favorites, really. Excited for the Switch, too? I am, yes, I'm curious to see. There's, like, a couple games that I keep beating this drum, but the point still stands. Would kill for 4 swords on a console like the Switch or the next Switch or whatever it is. Would love to have another one. Would be amazing to have another one. Another, like, more complex, at least in terms of, like, things to do and areas you can explore. A Kirby Air Ride. Yes, more, please. Like... Well, that was a fight. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, stuff I'd love to see people have the opportunity to play again. A lot of the GameCube library, mostly. I'm as nice as it is that my copy of Path of Radiance is worth so much. I would love people that actually get the opportunity to play that on actual hardware and not have to emulate it. Because I do think it's like one of the best introductory Fire Emblem games that are out there. Most people I know started with Shadow Dragon, which is awful. Like, the game's not bad, but it's not a good introductory game. It's way too hard for your first Fire Emblem game ever. Yeah, Fire Emblem 1, because Shadow Dragon is... The DS one is just a remake of Fire Emblem 1, of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. But yeah, like, having that be your first Fire Emblem would be brutal. Unless you've got, like, a lot of practice with strategy games, it might be okay then, but yeah, it would be rough, and I know for a lot of people that, like, just turn them off of playing the series altogether for a very long time. Probably until Awakening rolled around, really. And, like, as somebody who has also played and beaten Shadow Dragon, I don't blame them. I completely understand why that would put somebody off of playing that game, or playing that series altogether. But it would be nice to see some of those older ones. That's why it's cool to have the NSO and, like, get to play some of these past games that people might not have gotten a chance to play on older systems. So I'm hoping that the GameCube will soon be one of those, I'm sure. People can start doing GameCube titles. Because I know a lot of those games that are on the N64 one, like, most of them are, like, they have a pretty good set, but largely those games were available at some other point in time. Probably the Wii Virtual Console. So, like, most people I know that would want to try N64 stuff have played Mario 64, have played Ocarina Majora, have played Pilot Wings, have played Paper Mario 64. Most of them have been ones that people have already gotten the opportunity to before, but GameCube hasn't really gotten that opportunity yet. So I'm hoping that in the future, maybe around this time, in a couple years, if not next year, whenever it gets launched, that they'll have that opportunity. But we'll see, right? A lot of stuff here. Let's try clocking some people out. Give me some time to figure out exactly what I want to do here. I gotta assume that, like, if it stands in the middle, it goes to the audience, because you couldn't throw the clock out bomb into the audience, because the audience is on your side, so, like, why would you do that? So I can't think you would actively choose to do that, so I gotta imagine that's what it is. I don't even know who I'd really want to use here. I guess we'll go after the lava bubble, sure. I was hoping I would do a bit more damage, because I know it said that explosions do more damage, but I was hoping for maybe, 6 instead of 4, not 5 instead of 4, but oh well. That's alright. Oh, so explosions don't work on it even when it is flipped over. Oh, no thanks. I don't need that rock. I'm good. It's a really bizarre attack. It'll be interesting to see, like, people play this for the first time, and, like, I'm not gonna necessarily say the mistakes they'll make, because, like, as long as you succeed in your goal, there's not a wrong way to play. But it'll be interesting to see if people, like, play it their first time, like how I played it the first time. Of like, oh, they'll never use stuff like Clock Out or stuff like Power Lift or anything like that. They'll just be using like Sweet Treat, Earth Tremor, and Art Attack, and that's all they're going to use for those extra abilities. They're going to try the other ones once, and get like minimal / not great results, and they're gonna think, oh, that was a complete waste of time. I'm never using that again. Mostly for the younger generation, not for ours. We usually know by now that if something doesn't work one time, that doesn't mean that it's just never going to work. It'll be interesting to see how that changes. Or maybe they'll just, you know, use a guide to run through it and realize, oh yeah, power lift's actually pretty good. Lockout's actually pretty good, all that stuff. Don't know. Time will indeed tell when we see younger streamers playing this for the first time, but don't know. Is he gonna drop that HP thing? Yeah. Well, I flipped the panel over, but now I gotta fight these things too. Alright. I just run. Oh, no, it's just one. Okay, I can handle that. I was gonna say I kinda don't want to sit here and keep fighting for forever. But if it's just one, I can deal with that. Plus, I'll get that star power that I just burnt back up, so there's that at least. It's like, oh my gosh, yes. It'd be weird seeing like all the new guides for this game where it's like, no, I would be more inclined to trust the old guides, even if some of the info is changed. As a whole, they're probably still going to be more correct. Oh, wait. What am I doing? There we go. Yep, I did say there's going to be a lot of shine sprites in this stage. Which is also the pretty obvious hint that you're going to be ultra-ranking your party members pretty soon, because otherwise we'd only need 3 more, because Bobbery's the last one. Unless you hadn't picked up Ms. Mouse yet. Speaking of Ms. Mouse, just to show it off, because I don't think we have yet. Since I've got item hog, there's a good chance this would drop anyway, but just to show it off. Stop the gauge within the OK area by pressing A at the right time. Oh, nope, that does not work because it's a fire enemy. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was an indirect attack in the first one that didn't actually physically touch him, but okay. What else we got here? This probably is not going to get a lot of use outside of this area, so sure. Again, these items aren't going to get much used outside of being sold, so... Any other item to, I'll keep the Thunder Rage since it multi-targets. I always forget that that's the one downside. I don't think there's like a Spike Shield partner badge or like a immunity to fire if you jump on them badge for the partner. I think that's only for Mario. But oh well. The good old vanilla ice attack, yep. There we go, another level. do appreciate that the level cap is way higher in this game than the original Paper Mario 64. I think the level cap in that game is 30. I'm pretty sure it goes up to 99 here. Which you'll never hit, like, before the game ends, unless you are actively going way, way out of your way to level up Mario that far. Usually level 30 is about where you would get just, like, playing through the game normally and getting in a good bulk of the fights. Alright, I was going to get rid of that partner badge, and then what was the other one I put on? Close call. I'm going to trade that out for Power Plus partner, because I've already got a Power Plus on myself. If I was doing more of a glass cannon build, I probably would put it on Mario, and then I would just keep my party member out in the front so they were taking most of the damage. Wait. If I remember correctly. Bingo. Also kind of helped that it was a long, empty hallway, right? They had those in the first game in Bowser's Castle. It was the golden cannons at that point instead of the normal ones. I want to see if I can get these both out in one turn. We did just put on a Power Plus for the partner badge, so I feel like he could do 2 damage, right? Yeah. Now the question is, will this do enough damage? Yes, it will. Cool. Ever played the Smurpago remake? I did. I finished it completely, and I really, really liked it. It was really good. If you've not picked it up, highly recommend it. Phenomenal. Smurpago has also been one that I've been thinking about having Icarus too, because she really likes Thousand Year Door. And I'm like, well, if you like Thousand Year Door, this is like basically the spiritual prequel to Paper Mario 1. Because she's also played Paper Mario 1 / Paper Mario 64. And while it, like, some of the controls being an isometric platforming do take some getting used to, the humor is still there, the combat is still very good. The aged up graphics look nice. There is new content in the game. I won't spoil what it is, but there is new content in the Smurpago remake. The new content's good. So yeah, very, very much recommend it, for sure. If you have played the original, I recommend getting it. If you've not played the original at all, or the remake yet, I recommend maybe like watching about an hour and a half worth of gameplay, and if you like what you see, then you will probably like the rest of it. Even if you're not like super big on RPGs, which I know you are, but like even if somebody watching this isn't big on RPGs, it's a very good entry-level RPG. Both the original and the remake are very good entry-level RPGs. Level cap's 30, so like not too terribly difficult. The equipment setup is not difficult at all. It is a very good starting RPG, for sure. I cannot say enough good about it. Watch Checo's OG. Nice. NCS's OG is pretty good too, from what I remember. Proton John and Luca Jin did a playthrough on her channel, which was very good. That one was pretty recent too, because John had played through it several times, but I don't think Luca ever had before, so he was kind of like guiding her / doing some of the jumps, because her eyesight's not the best in the world by her own admission. So some of those weirder jumps, he was doing stuff like that, but also very good playthrough. I'm glad that that game got remade, because I was genuinely, like, Super Mario RPG does not get enough love. So the fact that even Nintendo did a remake for it was a very welcome surprise. Just completely ignoring that black chest, just going for everything else in the room. We haven't run into the key yet, but I know some enemies will drop down and have us fight them. Alright, I think That's it in the room. Cool. This is my favorite of the chests. So the chests in this game, if you've not seen this before, basically give you your abilities. The ability to like roll into the toilet paper roll, the ability to go flat, the ability to turn into a paper airplane. Those are all the ones we've gotten thus far. The joke is you're getting cursed, but it's like the Link to the Past curse where you get the double magic, or half magic, whatever you want to call it, where things cost half as much. It's like the exact same thing here, of like, you're getting cursed, but you're getting an ability, so it's not actually a curse. But by now, of course, this guy's just fed up because you're like, yeah, I know you're lying to me in saying that you're going to help. You're actually going to curse me. You're just going to pretend to. There we go. So this last guy's actually pretty good. Whenever you free him, he's pretty funny. For the record, Bomb Squad, I almost never use this. I used it a lot growing up, but I think it's probably, unfortunately, one of the worst abilities in the game of, like, basically setting up a timed release. Like, just... There's very few instances where that would come in handy. Like, I'd be like, oh, fighting the ghost, like somebody that can turn invisible, but that's a very, very niche amount of the time. By this point, we've gotten through fighting the main boos. There'll be some in the next chapter, but, like... Boos are not typically that strong defensively. You could just kill them with one good hit. So, I'm sure there's probably some way to use it more effectively than I do, but it's not one I typically use that often. Alright, here we go. Since you're itching to get this over with. Wee-hee! Fools! He treats it the same as the other curses do in the beginning. It's the last part that's really good. They talk about, like, the 4 heroes that sealed away the 1,000-year-old demon, which is the thing that ultimately will be the final boss. And the cursed chests are implied to be those 4 heroes, so this is the 4th and final one. Are you alright? That didn't really hurt, did it? Good. Squirm and suffer like socially awkward worms. So yeah, now we've seen these platforms before, but now we can actually do something with these. Make me become a boat. Just like I always wanted to. People will laugh at you. You'll be spit upon. Yep. Wee. Then you get back up to it. You unboat. I don't think that's an actual verb. I could be wrong. Just because my degree is in English Lit does not mean I know every single word out there, but I'm pretty sure unboat is not a word. But yeah, here's the ending part that's pretty good. Oh, and hey, listen. Thanks for letting me do my thing. I feel better. That guy is the best guy. I love it. Bro, just unboat. Yeah, exactly. You're afraid of water? Just, like, you're afraid of you drowning? Just boat, and then just unboat when you're done, man. That's all you gotta do. Whee! Have I played all the others? I have played 64, 1,000 Year Door, Super, which is the one on the Wii. Oh, there's coins back here. Nice. I'm just kind of messing around to see what else I can find. I own but I have not played Color Splash. I own but I have not played Origami King. And then, of course, I played, if you want to count Super Mario RPG, I played Super Mario RPG, I played the remake, and I played the remake for this game right now. So the only ones I've not played... Oh, and I've played Sticker Star, even though it's terrible. I have played and completed that. So the only ones that I've not played are Color Splash and Origami King. I was gonna do all... I was waiting for Origami King, I think. Oh, hi. I was waiting for Origami King to come out, and I bought Color Splash, and I was like, I'm gonna do Super Paper Mario and then Color Splash before... in, like, the 5 months that I have before Origami King comes out. But I got through Super, and part of it was just the tech difficulties. I was playing it on the Wii U, and that was my first time streaming using my capture card on the Wii U, so it was rusty in that regard, and I also knew the story of Super, which is really where it shines. The rest of the game's okay, but the story's really where it shines. So I think between the tech issues that I was having, which wasn't an issue with the Wii U, like, in particular, it was just getting used to the new setup. But between that and already knowing what the story was going to be, I think that just kind of put me off it, because I ended up completing it, but I was like, that was probably one of my least favorite projects that I've done. I think I ended up not even saving any of that footage. I think I just let it expire on Twitch. And because of that, I just was like, well, I hope Color Splash is a little bit better, because I know how Sticker Star is, and people largely think pretty highly of Super. So if people think decently highly of Super, and kind of on Color Splash, and I didn't have a good time with Super, how's that gonna transfer over to Color Splash? I try not to let others' opinions muddle mine too much, but, you know, kind of got me thinking, like, between that and the fact that, like, doing two, not only the same genre back-to-back, but two Paper Mario games back-to-back, of, like, do I really want to do that? Now I'm not so sure. So I ended up just not doing that as a result. And then when Origami King came out, something else got released around the same time, like, by surprise. There might have been a boat pad back here and I wasn't paying attention. And so as a result, I didn't play Origami King either. Just didn't get around to it. So yeah, I own both. Have not played either. Need to, though. Oops. I'm sure it'll be on my list at some point. Having Icarus playthrough games, I've got a fair few in mind. For me playing on my own time, I've got a fair few in mind. And since I'm going to have a couple weeks where she's not going to be available, I'll definitely be doing something once this is done. I don't know how long it'll take me to get through 100%ing this. But I've definitely had a few games in mind for both, for sure. Oops. Jump right off the platform, why don't you? I think we have to start going up here. No, because we need the crank. There's a lot to this dungeon, but it's not too terribly hard to get lost, unlike with the butt-ass ugly woods, otherwise known as the Boggly Woods. I have a vague idea of where the crank is. I just don't remember if I need to get it from about this section or elsewhere. No, there's a boat pad there, so I think I do need to go to the top and go down. Well, you know what? I'm going to make absolutely sure that's true. So otherwise I'm just going to go back and forth for a while here. Yeah. So here's where the crank is. We need to progress, so I do need to go the other way. Yeah, because I can't get through that. Okay. Some old consoles, try some old RPGs. There's a lot of good ones out there, for sure. Absolutely. I don't know if it's on the I have not downloaded the SNES stuff from NSO. I need to. But I really want to know if Earthbound's on there, and I just need to take the 5 minutes it would take for me to download that to find out. Because Earthbound is extremely high on my list of games I want Icarus to play. Like, that's such an influential RPG. Like, that set the standard for so many things that we think nothing of now. And also, just, it's a good game even barring that. It's still really good. So, the only downside is, by her own admission, she tends to panic pretty easily, so with things like a scrolling HP meter, that could definitely prove problematic for her gameplay style. She likes taking the time to stop and, like, think through exactly what she wants to do. It's the text that she button mashes through. So, like, I don't know. Earthbound would be fun. It would be an interesting project. I feel like the only thing that would get in her way, get in the way of her enjoyment, is just her general play style for games. Oh, I thought this was for a shine sprite. This must be for a badge. What do we got in here? Some kind of stomp badge? Nope. Defend plus P. Alright, cool. Probably won't ever use that, but I think the Sega console's left to get nice. Yeah, it is a shame that like only key components of each console are the ones that are getting like reported or whatever, i.e. not left behind, but I'm glad that we're at least getting that. Because that's, while it's a shame we'll inevitably lose some to time, that's still better than nothing. Because it could always be just the case of not getting any of those ported ever again. Imagine a world where like Ocarina of Time never got a GameCube release or a Switch Online release or whatever. Which would be doubly funny given that we've had Wind Waker try to portray Wind Waker tried to be Ocarina and thankfully ended up kind of becoming its own game. It has bits and pieces where it's still trying to be Ocarina, but not as bad as the other one, which is Twilight Princess, that definitely wanted to be Ocarina and did not succeed. I still find it insane that my 3-heart run of Twilight Princess was bar and away my favorite run that I ever did of that game. It just made it like so much more of a challenge. I get to skip so much of the stuff I just didn't want to do. Like, crazy how weird that is. That was the only one that I ever felt like that. I mean, all the 3-heart runs I did were fun, but that was the only one where I'm like, wow, this feels like, genuinely feels like a better playing experience than playing the game normally. That's wild to me. Something that was designed to be a challenge run just was like, no, this is just definitively more fun to play like this. I'm trying to think what the hardest 3-heart run I did was. And truthfully, I don't know. Ocarina's isn't too bad. It's got a couple trouble spots. It's mostly just you have to be careful in places like the Shadow Temple where it's not hard, but if you're just like walking over spikes because you're used to having 18 hearts when you've only got 3, then you can lose pretty easily there. Majora, it's really just the Georg fight. Otherwise, it's not too bad. The Skyward Sword, I mean, you can do a limited heart run there, but it's not too bad. Ooh. Yep. The ghosts are hanging out. They're around. Breath of the Wild is just a time-consuming final boss gauntlet. You just need a lot of arrows and weapons, but otherwise it's not too terribly bad. Seeing as most of the bosses can't insta-kill you, including Ganon himself. Only one of the 5 can. So it's not too terribly bad. So I don't know. It could be Wind Waker. It's been a long time since I've done a run of Wind Waker. 3-heart or just a normal or whatever. And truthfully, I probably am due for another run through of Wind Waker. But I know, myself included, like a lot of other people would love to have Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the new console that comes out. Because Wii U was not the best console, in particular for Wind Waker. Just because of how the gamepad controls. It would have been really nice to have that on Switch for sure. Like, I want the quality of life stuff from the HD remake, but I want the controller from the GameCube. And I never played the Twilight Princess HD. I know Harmless Guy did, but I did not play that one, so... Is that a boat? I mean, yes, technically. Well, that was pointless. Are you kidding me? It's made out of paper. Huge disappointment. I mean, valid. If you thought someone was coming to save you and it was just a paper boat, that would be a bit upsetting. Yeah, Skyward Sword is way better on Switch. I think I had to realign my controls, like, maybe twice the entire game. Some quality of life stuff, like you can skip the cutscenes without having to beat the game previously. I think you can even do hero mode without having to beat the game previously. Yeah, it definitely increased the enjoyability of Skyward Sword, which I actually thought was pretty good even on the original. So if I think it's good on the original, yeah, the remake's even better, for sure. Surely one of these two is gonna have a star piece behind it, right? Oh, okay. I was like, also, how do I get back? Duh. I think I can get behind this. Oh, I can, but there's no star piece there either, right? Let's go to the other one. Yeah, but if you liked original Skyward Sword even a little, and your big gripe was just having to fight the controls, yeah, get the HD. The HD is really, really good. Skyward Sword is my number 2 Zelda, still. Yeah, the only one it's behind is Majora's Mask. Sadly, I cannot say the same for Tears of the Kingdom. I played it for about 30 hours and just was not having fun. The story gave away its story beats too quickly, and the main gimmick of the building just did not work for me, personally. It was a case of, like, I knew what I wanted to do, I would look up the solution, and I would have the correct solution, but I just couldn't get the controls to work that I wanted to. I'd try to stick one part onto another, and it just wouldn't stick the way that I wanted it to, even though I knew that was the correct solution. So, ultimately, that was one that I did not finish, so it is now on my list with Minish Cap and also with Spirit Tracks, which, since Minish Cap's on GBA online for an SO, I might go and beat that one. I've seen a full playthrough of that one, and I do like it quite a bit. The only reason I didn't beat that one is because I rented it as a kid, and I just, like, ran out of time to finish it, that was all. Nope. There's a crystal star in the pirate's treasure. I think the treasure's right in there, watched by Cortez the Spirit. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to take care of him, though. You look tough. Besides, Cortez is the one that trapped us on that raft, so smack him one for me. You know, like, I kind of like Cortez. He's pretty cool. Still in Minish Cap and Spirit Tracks. Yeah, I don't know how much those go for now. I imagine since Minish Cap's been put on an SO, it's probably cheaper now than it ever was before. How's it going, Lord Dump? You can take him, we're counting on you. Can I talk to him again? When I say, I'll just wait here so I don't get in the way. Well, we'll just push you in the water so you definitely won't get in the way. How are we doing on, like, health and stuff? Yeah, might as well. This is a boss fight, so... Hello, Mr. Cortez. Ooh, you ignored my warning. This guy reminds me of the boss in Chapter 2 of the original Paper Mario that keeps, like, doing that ooh the entire time. Tootin' Koopa or whatever he was. Chapter 2 is, like, unfortunately one of my least favorite parts of the first Paper Mario. But Chapter 1 is really good, and Chapter 3 is phenomenal in that game, so... Hearts do not moan. That's true. You're after my treasure! Just that one little... Habla, speak. Turn mustache into a bone polisher. Excuse you? See what I mean about the writing in this game being like, It's like, granted, we're, like, adults now, so, you know, the innuendos and whatnot, but, like, again, hello? Is there some way in which I can assist you? Anyway, moving swiftly on. That's Cortez. He's the dreaded spirit pirate who haunts the island. Max HP is 20, attack is 4, defense is 1. His HP may seem low, but he's a spirit, so even when his HP hits 0, he'll just come back. Plus, he has a ton of different attacks. He's as tough as scary as they look. I'd say keep damaging him, and sooner or later he'll go down for good. Let's give this tormented spirit some eternal rest. Well, alright then. Well, give him a little poke there. how I could not manage to guard like some of the basic enemies in here, but I've guarded both of his attacks correctly, not knowing exactly when they would be the opportune time. And yeah, unsurprisingly, like she said, that was not it. I'm pretty sure Hooktail had 20 health, which was the first boss in the game, so yeah, obviously he's not done. Just take a drink here, and back to murder. I like how that just didn't do anything to anyone. Charge, attack power is now boosted. Oh, well that's not good. He's got 10 health left. Well, I think if we knock him into the next phase, he will not keep that attack power boost. Oh man! Weak. Hope this does enough damage then. Nice. Now he's got sharp, pointy things. Thankfully, they already tell you the HP on those. You know what? Why not? Let's do it. Eat stars, nerd. Maybe we can set this guy on fire. I doubt it, but let's give it a try. Oh no, you can. Cool. Alright. Alright, see you in a second, sucker. I will continue to beat up Cortez. And apparently get a boost to my defense. Can't take much more of this. This calls for something special. I thought you couldn't die. But no, instead you're just gonna devour the souls of the audience. Alright. And heal for 50 health despite the fact that your max is 20. Alrighty then. I mean, if we're gonna play like that, then might as well just draw a couple circles around you, a la Okami here. Hit the wrong button. Would you bite me? The blades have returned. This gives me an idea for a story character. Somebody that uses dual wielding weapons. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Let's see if I can do this correctly this time. Nice. Quintuple kill. No, my treasure. We figured it out. He was actually Fred Jones the entire time. That was his real name. There's only one man that's ever pronounced treasure that way. Also, yeah, he's a dead pirate, so yeah. This is boring as death. Yeah, but we just want that little. Yeah, we just want that one little piece. That's it. You can have the rest. In serio? You want this?
Oh yeah.
This little rock over here. Are you serious? Yeah. Well, that's no big deal. Here, take it. What do I need 1 or 2 extra gems for? I didn't really like that one anyway. I just love that he just does not care. I'm like, oh, that's all you wanted? Yeah, you could just have that. Like, it's all good. All good. So now you get Sweet Feast for when you're actually, like, really hurting for health or flower points if you've not been just upgrading BP like me. Cleared. It's just not the same as end of chapter, but that's alright. Mari soundly defeated this fearful spirit and claimed the Crystal Star. Perhaps the peaceful citizens of the world no longer need fear Cortez and his fell ship. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, no, that's entirely valid. Like, I technically have a washer dryer in my complex, but it's where the weed heads hang out, and so as a result, not only do the machines rarely work, but, like, it just stinks to having a weed, and that will get into your clothes in the time that you're actually using the washer and dryer, so I usually either take it to my folks' house while I'm checking in on them, or I'll take it to work and do it while I'm not busy there. One of the two. Yeah, also a laundromat, that also works too. Did we get fully... Yeah, we got everything back, okay. I figured since we got the Crystal Star, it was probably going to give us everything back, but just wanted to be sure. Hi, so we got the thing. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, the laundromats are also getting, like, wicked expensive. Don't you love how everything goes up in price, except for how much you make? If everybody made more, then it wouldn't be an issue, because then the ratios would be roughly the same, but that would be too easy, now wouldn't it? Alright, let's get out of this cave. Imagine if every single one of these sprites had something to say before they were walking out. Thankfully, that's not the case. It's fine. We're leaving with you. We're not just going to hang out in here. I'm not taking the long way out. No way. Also, I think, yep. Waku on Waka, we got some good weather today, right? Makes me feel like nothing bad could happen on a day like today. Not a thing. You're right. You gotta whack a lump of something replenishes 25 health and 25 flower points. Probably just use it for cooking. That's why I only picked up the one. I don't like hurting that guy, but that's literally the only way to get that item, so... Unfortunately, it was a necessary evil. So we found the treasure? Well, we got what we wanted. If you want the rest of it, you can go get it, man. Like... I do like the small thing of, like, this guy probably just came to try and find his brother. Yeah, sure enough. It's a nice little small thing. I think, provided they didn't change it, we get one of my favorite lines in this entire chapter as well. It's really funny. Surprise, the bad guy was actually a bad guy the entire time. I like his little evil pose there. That is Four Eyes. What's he doing over there? Hey, Four Eyes, it's dangerous up there. But I'm actually Lord Dump. Please tell me they keep it. There we go. Four Eyes was a pirate all this time. Madness. Like, what does that make these guys then? So freaking funny. Oh, they're sailors, not pirates. Yeah. Never mind the eye patch and all that, but... Well, considering it's either that or just continue to get it shot at until we die. Also, bearing in mind that Cortez doesn't want to deal with this asswipe either, so he'll probably be down. Hey Cortez, we're back. Oh, what? It's you again? Did you forget something? I love that he's just... It's the equivalent of like, oh, did you leave your wallet in here by accident or something? You strutting peacock. You rattle my bones, Senor Peacock. Phrasing. No, that one's in the original game. I do remember that one. You take, yeah, or eat it. You know, you could eat it too. Despite the fact you have like no stomach or, you know, body of any sort, no lungs, no esophagus. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. All right, let's get out of here. The good news is, while the dialogue plays, I can friend you on Discord and do other things like that. I'm gonna assume... Saw a friend on VR, I assume he's probably... Yeah, doing management for a portal. There's a convention that's going on right now, IRL, and a lot of cons now are... They'll have a VR portal so that, like, people that are at the con IRL can see people in VR and vice versa, but they usually have to have people on both sides monitoring the portals to make sure people aren't doing stupid stuff like, you know, beating up the mic and stuff like that. You'd think there's no way that could happen, but literally yesterday, like, they had to tell somebody multiple times, like, hey, like, quit tapping on the mic super loud and stuff like that. Like, you'd think it would be a no-brainer, but, you know. What if he just fell off into the ocean and got eaten by a shark? Getting more of like an overall panning here, but yeah, they still have the ships fighting. Alright, let's get them, boys. I hope those pieces that fell off weren't important. Yep, it's time to duel. Lord Dump. Technically round 3. I know the prologue fight doesn't really count, but we'll say it does. Ha. Can't flee this fight. Wasn't really planning on it, but good to know. That's an X-Naut platoon. Crump commands them all. Where'd they come from? Their max HP depends on their condition, but attack is 5 and defense is 0. They're going to come at us with coordinated group maneuvers, I'm sure. But they're pretty whippy, so we should be able to handle it, don't you think? Yeah, the X-Nauts aren't exactly what I would call heavy hitters. You heavy hitter. That's Lord Dump. Not even this guy, or not this guy again. Ugh, max HP is 30, attack is 3, and defense is 0. He just attacks normally, so don't worry too much about him. But those X-Nauts all around him are a force to be reckoned with. They're going to attack us with all kinds of weird moves, I can just feel it. Attack at their leader, they won't have the focus to attack. Get Crump. Try to leave these guys with as low amount of health as possible here. Since it said their attack depends on their condition, I think. Good. In case you're wondering, with the roulette, if it's the poison mushrooms, because the other 2 parts are determined randomly, but you don't want to get the poison mushrooms, that set of 3. Anything else is fine, but you don't want to get that, so I'm actively choosing to miss that. Get off that easy, losers. Let's see how you like this. So they're just, like, hanging from the canopy? Alright, cool. Just because I want to see if they, like, all fall off the thing, I just gotta know. I gotta know. Aw, they don't. That's a bummer. Or that could happen, sure. Alright, hasta luego. I'm not even gonna ask how that happened, but it's fine. What do we got for options? I probably should swap her out because I don't want to lose that live stream to losing a party member. We'll just casually set that man on fire. He'll be okay. What's the worst that's happened to somebody by being set on fire? Am I right? Nice. Not even his giant butt could save him that time. missed, but oh well. He'll be dead next turn anyway, so it won't really matter. Man, he can't actually, like, hit us with his attack to save his life. He's either just done no damage or just missed altogether. What a dumbass. Not even enough star points to level up. That's disappointing. Oh well. Get your flame on, yep. Come on now, battle play your cards, right? I mean, I did say it was time to duel, so it's only fair if we make a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, we have to make a Yu-Gi-Oh GX reference. Cola's on me. Cheers. I've still got part of mine sitting here. But now we can move on to the side segments. Which more importantly means that we can move on to the Bowser segments, because that's why we're all actually here. You blew it again, Lord Dump. You sicken me. Stop talking, Lord Dump. Yeah. I like that hint of tell the three shadows to attack Mario again, yet you have one of the three in your party now because she turns to your side. So it's like, oh, what do you mean there's a third one? Which it's the, for those that have not seen it before, it's Dupless. It's the Chapter 4 boss. Alright, so we're looking for a data disk. And we'll bring it back to Tech and he'll get info. He's supposed to be a perfect computer, quote-unquote, but if he doesn't have the information in his databanks, there's not much that he can do. Great story for this character, for those who have not seen it. He's supposed to be guarding Peach, but he saw Peach taking a shower, and so now he's fallen in love with her. I wish I was making that up, but I'm not. He got a hard-on from watching Peach completely nude in the shower. And, yeah, he's fallen in love. I know. Luckily, Paper Peach is a little bit more helpful than the actual normal Peach. Both in Mario RPG and in the Paper Mario games as a whole, she's usually more useful. I don't know about the later games, but in this game, in the original, she can actually, like, not only help Mario, but in the first one, she can even, Alright, okay, I got it. Thank you. There. Jeez. But she could, like, when she would go around through her castle, because Bowser took over her castle in the first one, you could go around and find items, and there was, like, a two-way little teleporter thing, and you could give those items to Mario. So she actually was helping by giving you things, other than just the information of where to go. Yeah, so now she's going to become completely invisible, which also means that because when she comes invisible, her clothes are still visible, that she will be, again, running around completely nude. Pretty great, ain't it? So yeah, there's a bunch of notes around here. Put the yellow between the blue and the green. Do not put the red on the far right. Put the blue next to the red. Put 2 potions between the green and the red. So, yeah, no, I was trying to pick it up. There we go. Thankfully, you don't have to pick them up, like, and hold them one at a time. That would be a pain. So yeah, for the record, how to do this. If you have to have 2 between the green and the red, that means that the green and the red have to be on the far ends. And which one is it? If you can't put the red on the far right, then obviously that means the only spot that it can go is the far left. And since the green has to be on the opposite side, it would go here. If if you have to put the yellow between the blue and the green, that would mean that it obviously has to go here, which leaves the blue going here. Not too hard. Are you sure the place to your liking? Yes. This is similar to making the cake in the first game, where you had to like get all the ingredients to give them to a shy guy that wanted you to make him a cake, and then he would give you the information for where... I think it was Chapter 5 for that one, I'm not 100% sure. Heat the mixed potion in the beaker for 30 seconds. Press the button exactly 30 seconds. Ugh. Words are hard. Press the button exactly 30 seconds after the machine starts to stop the machine. You can read. Jeez. So yeah, the cake thing, obviously, since you have to bake the cake, you can't just eat it raw. Did something similar. It also did one where you have to like mash the X button to stir it correctly, I think is what it was. I'm just gonna say it should be, if I'm timing this right, somewhere thereabout. That does not look appetizing. And the fact that it's a drink that's been heated. It's like if we took the old school Ecto Cooler and, like, tossed it in the microwave for a couple minutes. Ugh. It smells really funky. Yeah, it probably does. I can't argue that. It probably does. You've successfully made yourself transparent. Now ditch the clothes, woman. What happens if it's wrong? It does like a number of various things. I'm actually going to look that up, though. Let's find out. I've only gotten ones that'll make her grow or make her shrink. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there's one that makes her shrink. If you take it out too early, she shrinks. If you take it out too late, she grows. Thus offering a hint on your timing. Most of what I'm looking at here is just like, oh, well, how do I time it? Which is just like, if you're not good with that, just use a phone. Yeah, so I'm going to assume that's what it is. But yeah, she either becomes giant or too small. I was going to say, like, maybe something else would come up if she missed one of the buttons whenever the potion was going back and forth, where you had to hit the button to make it drop whatever color potion it was in front of it, but I guess not? Truthfully, I have no idea. I know with the cake in the first game, if it's just done wrong when you bring it to the guy, he just doesn't like it. Alright, where we go? Unlike with Paper Mario 64, there's not really any items you can send to Mario. Because like I said, there are some things about the original game I do think are a little bit better, and I do think the Peach segments in the original game are a little bit better as a whole. Like, don't get me wrong, doing this is all cool, but like in the first game they would give you a magic umbrella that you could point at somebody and hit the B button, and when you did, you would transform into that character, so you would transform into different characters to, like, you know, fool people you were trying to get past. So they did something similar already. Not here. Not here. I think it's over here, pretty sure. You got a data disc. And the sad thing is, I'm sure there are going to be plenty of kids playing it being like, what the heck is that supposed to be a picture of? And that's a little bit sad. It's a floppy disk, my friends. Something from an ancient era. Oh, I have to put it in this computer. I thought I had to bring it back to him. Alright, fine. You sure did. Love the little loading screen thing that it's doing here. That's nice. Like I was never here, except that you were, and he'll probably still know that anyway. If he does have video surveillance, he's still going to see the doors opening and closing. More importantly, he's still going to hear you talking to yourself. So it's really, you know, it's... Yeah. That's coming from somebody that did lots of LPing and streaming, which is the equivalent of, at least with the LPing, when you're doing the recording, that's literally what you're doing, is you're talking to yourself. But if nothing else, especially back when we had the time limit, it's really good about helping you, like, recognize how fast or slow you are at talking, hearing yourself in the recording, because nobody likes the sound of their own voice. Getting idea for making sure that you do pauses where appropriate and trying to not go or as much as one would normally do. Which I would say I'm on average better than most people about not throwing little crap words in there like and or but or, you know, sorta like whatever. I prefer to just actually have a small pause myself. That might be personal preference, I don't know. But it tends to sound a little bit better when you're doing stuff like public speaking. Alright, away we go. I think it'll just warp us back there. Since there were, you know, guards around, they don't want to be like, well, how'd you get past the guards? Don't worry about it. It's fine. They all conveniently disappeared right when we needed it to. You think Peach is a fast typer? Like, what do you think her words per minute are? Because, you know, the game is Mario teaches typing, not Peach teaches typing. I don't know how she is. She might be... For all I know, half of her words are misspelled, and it's just auto-correcting them. I don't know. A 1,000 words per minute at that rate. Yeah, good point, actually. I can usually... On a good day, I can hit about 90. On a bad day, it's probably sitting around, like, 80. But typically, if I'm doing, like, creative writing or something, I'm doing a lot of stopping. That's if, like, I had a huge thing of text above me. If I was doing an actual typing test, had text above me and it was just said, copy this, exactly how it is. The only thing that might slow me down is doing the numbers. If I don't have the number pad on the right, if I have to use that top row of numbers, I will probably slow down substantially. Also, hi, Bowser. I am always excited for Koopa Boyfriend. What are you... Alright. Yes, we'll make them tell us. Oh, Bowser. I'm dreaming. Yep, just a bad dream. Go like up any second. Crystal Star, I have no idea really. Papa, please spare me. No. Am I gonna be turned into a pig again? No. What about the bids? Can I talk to the bids? No. In this chapter, you had to use Vivian's, like, veil / out of sight. And then you could hear what the birds were actually saying. it was broken. Yeah, it is still broken. Crush mark. Dude, do you not realize it's broken? The luck of the moon is still riding shotgun with me? Dude, you've got to quit watching mangas in your spare time. Dude, there's no way Crump could beat Bowser in a fight. Get him, Bowser. Soup man? What? That didn't even make sense. Like, I guess turtle soup, but eh. Yeah, the funny thing is, because you actually fight the Hammer Bros and, like, the Magic Koopas and whatnot, I can say outright, yeah, the X-Nauts are the weaker side. Crump is weaker than Bowser, and the X-Nauts are weaker than his Koopa clan. Factually, they are weaker. We could stop and count the numbers, but probably best to not do that. Just take and throw it back. That was your big weapon, it didn't even go off. This is how you do it, amateur. Watch and learn. Blah. Oh, crud. Bowser, you're such a goober, and we love you for it. I'm so glad the side games give Bowser the character development and also the appreciation that he should really have from all games. Of course, a couple people are going to stick behind. It's the right place to live. Well, the ghosts aren't going to be gone. Like, they're still living here. Yeah, that's fair. If it's Florida, it's probably pretty hot. It's only 89 here, but it was 97 yesterday. But usually the hottest point in the day is sitting at about like 4 to 5 o'clock, and it's only 1:30 here, so there's still time, unfortunately. We'll see. My AC is starting to go, as it does about this time every year. It just can't keep up, so we'll be sure and once tomorrow rolls around to tell management, because I'll actually have to go in. We have a new way of setting up our apartment billing, and so now as a result with the new way that it's done, there's no way to file not management requests, to file why am I blanking on the word? Maintenance. There we go. Maintenance requests. There's no way to file them anymore, so you actually have to go in specifically. Yeah, but y'all have the humidity in Florida, which makes it even worse. Like, I'm at least in North Texas, so it's hot, but it's dry, at least. So it's not quite as bad. I will absolutely not do that, but thanks, Flavio. Alright, bye, Flavio. Did you have that tornado blow by? Nah, it didn't really come by here. We were semi-close to that huge, fire, one of the worst ones that we've had ever, where it burned down, 1 million acres of land, actually. Not even just, not even saying that as a high number, as in actually the number. Oh, hi, Luigi. Let's go and get the star piece over here, why not? That's not the right button. Yeah, Texas has a lot of tiny towns that are, I wouldn't say non-existent, but they're just very small towns. Most of them have been eaten up by the bigger cities like mine. It's anything that's by Amarillo has been eaten up by Amarillo, that kind of thing. I love this area back here, by the way. This is one of my favorite areas in the game. Just a nice little, like, spot back here. You could just, like, chill, watch some TV, have a drink. It'd be nice. See if there's anything way out here in the foreground. I doubt it, but maybe there is. So we do need to go to the 1,000-year door. Oh, and get an email from Peach. Forget about that. Dearest Mort, I have good news. There's not a computer called Tech. Wouldn't you have already told him this? Like, how else do you think these emails are getting through? That they just let you keep your phone? Oh wait, this was in 2004. Phones weren't good enough to send email back then. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Anything new here? Yeah, so Twilight Town, you can go double your points there if you so care. Slice of patchouli leaf and a horsetail. I don't remember where you get the horsetails, oddly. There is a spot, I just don't remember where. Oh, that's cool. I don't remember this, if this was in the original game, but after you found me Coops, this is from a side quest that we did where we had to find this guy in Hooktail's castle. I found a nice hiding nook in a place called the Crystal Palace. It's so cold my shell is frosty, but it's a great place for hiding. The Crystal Palace was the dungeon of Chapter 7 from the initial game. I loved that area, too. It was one of my favorites. I don't want to find me, but I do want people to see how good I am at hiding. You see the bind him in? I was really hoping they'd show a picture of him in the Crystal Palace. Oh, well. So yeah, that's another one we did. These are all the quests that we did. You got anything new? Not really. I'll go ahead and upgrade Bobbery the first time here. I do need to see if his quest is available to start doing the ultra rank stuff too, because then I'll be able to get one more person. I could probably find 2 more shine sprites now that I got that boat ability, though. In fact, I know I can. Nope, that's all I can do for right now. Alright, so Bobbery gets 10 more health, 1 more damage, and gets Hold Fast, which damages enemies that directly attack Bobbery. Again, not something I really use. Really, it's just his default attack and his last attack, which, while expensive, targets all enemies, even if they're in the air. And that's pretty much it on that front. I do know how to get to that. You know what? I could check, but it's probably not open yet. I probably have to put in the star. Oh no, it's actually got 2 of them there, but I don't think either of those were it. Yeah, I don't think either of those were it. That might not even be at the Trouble Center. That might be a separate thing that they give you or hint towards when you go and talk to Frankly after you put in the Crystal Star. We'll see. I need to go across that. I do need to go across that. Okay. Guess I need to get to that from the top building. That's no big deal. I can do that. But first, since we're already here, I love the paper aesthetic of the water there with the different colors. That's really cool. We'll just unboat here. I gotta know. I'm like 99% sure that that's not a word. No, I don't see anything. This is all just U-boats, as in like the German underwater boats, i.e. submarines. So, unsurprisingly, I don't think unboat is a word. Unboat. It's like an Earthbound. Can you foot the bill? It's like foot isn't a verb. It can be. The joys of the English language, right? Of like, is this a word that can be used as this part of speech, or like, is it there or there? And it's just like, in what context? I can't help you otherwise. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that shine spray. Oh, we do have to go across this thing right here. Right, because you go past here. Did we get this one? I'm going to assume we probably did. Yeah. What else can we do for Shine Sprites and stuff? Specifically in... I almost said Toad Town. That's Paper Mario 64. Wrong game. In Rogueport... I think that's it for those, but we can get... For the, like, little paper things, but we can... First of all, do this. His winning number is 7279. Nope, none of those match. And as we now know, it has to be the ones digit that matches first, then the tens, then the hundreds. Because the last one that I got, the first one, did match. I actually did have a 4. But it did not count it. Puts us in 6, right? We spent 3. But I know where I can get another 3. Kind of mess around here and figure out where specifically everything is going. Oh, right, these have been upgraded to like tougher enemies now. The little spinny things aren't there anymore. That was a mistake, but that's fine. We can also level up off of this, so there's that at least. And also we can tattle them. We've already gotten the Hammer Brother from the Blitz Pit. This guy's not shown up yet. Not this one specifically. The dark one did, but not the normal one. The Koopa Troll. That's Koopa Troll, a Koopa Trooper. He protects himself with spiked armor. Max HP is 6, attack is 4, defense is 2. It attacks with a shell and with its head and sometimes charges up for a fierce move. Plus, if you take too long to win, it'll call reinforcements. Sort of gnarly, huh? It's one of Bowser's worst guys. Koopa Troopers dream of being Koopa Trolls. By the way, what do you think Bowser's doing now anyway? Eating? Maybe. I don't know. Admittedly, I hadn't thought about it. Probably off somewhere being adorable. As is what Bowser usually does. Goombella got a nice little sewer bath there, so that's good. So like with other Koopas, can I flip this guy over with Quake Hammer? Yes, I can. No reason to not just, like, spend all of the FP since we're about to get it right back, right? Those guys get pretty good experience. I know I had to fight a third one instead of just the 2, but still. If you were going to level grind at this point in the game, that might not be a bad idea, or might not be a bad set of enemies to take on. So now that we're back out of Keelhaul Key, I think it's safe to say that will be going on. So now I can jump on any enemy without fear of taking damage by accident, be they fire or spiked enemies. Because I am more of a jump man than a hammer man myself. Ouch! Nice try, sucker. could have sworn the Koopa Patrol had more health than that. I thought they had 8, not 6. Not complaining, it makes it easy to beat them in one round. Especially if they get frozen like that. Well, now I'm going to take my time and get my FP back. I was going to power shell them, but... I'm cool with taking my time to get a couple points back. I don't remember if you fight those Shy Guys in this game or not. I'm actually curious about that. I know you could fight the Dark Shy Guys or Dark Guys or whatever they were called in Shy Guys Toy Box. They were like an extra boss you didn't have to fight. You could bribe them with an item or I think even money, technically. But they were like a really hard to kill boss. They were those Shy Guys. I don't know if you fight them in Thousand Year Door, though. I don't remember. I actually don't remember if you fight the Shy Guys, period, in this one. Shy Guys Toy Box is like one of my favorite chapters from the first game. 4 and 3 are both very solid chapters. 7 is pretty nice as well. 2 is the only one I'm not super big on. I'm not big on deserts in games. Never have been. And I'm not big on chapter 2 in this game either. It's chapter 4, chapter 5. The Flower Fields is kind of okay in the first game, which is chapter 6. I do like Lava Lava Island, which is chapter 5. So really it's just 2 for sure and 6 maybe that I'm not too terribly keen on. Look at those wiggly boys. Look at them go. Yeah, in this game it's really only Boggly Woods that I don't care for. And it's better in this game than it was the original, namely due to the lighting and the soundtrack. I don't remember if we fought one of the pink little skinny guys yet. We might have to end up tattling that one, I'm not sure. But we'll see. I'm better off just attacking these one by one and saving the FP for the time being. If I get dodgier, the FP refill. Because unsurprisingly, these Chapter 1 enemies / prologue enemies are not going to be very good for gaining experience. Drop the Fright Mask. Well, that one had some defense on it, at least. Haven't I gotten the chance to tattle that one? I have not. Well, first... because I don't want to get attacked by 5 enemies in one round. I think it's got like 10 health, so it should survive this. Yeah. Ouch! That did a fair bit more than I thought it was going to. Let's have a look here. That's a Spunia? I'm gonna assume it's Spunia. Its body is made of springy discs. Max HP is 12, attack is 7, defense is 2. May not look like much, but it's pretty tough. Yeah, as I just found out. Watch out for the spikes on its head. Won't come at you with anything too weird, so just hang in there, okay? I just didn't expect it to do that much damage. My god. We're probably fine with the normal jump, though. Oh, no, never mind. I thought I was doing 2 per hit, not 1 per hit. Well, we got it this time. Give me all the coins and all the items. That will probably just ultimately end up being sold back in Rogueport store. I could technically say, like, oh, you don't have to fight all of the enemies that are in this little area, but in order to get the Shine Sprites, you're probably going to have to fight them all, so just be prepared for that. And tragically, I can't get the last one yet. I need, or the last Shine Sprite, rather, that's in this room, the one that's higher up. You can technically get it. It's a little finicky, too. I've seen the little trick for doing it, but I'm not going to attempt it. Use or toss something. Alright, we'll use this. Ooh, that badge is coming with me, thank you. Had that issue with Ms. Mouse hitting that enemy in Chapter 5 because it was fire, but I'm very sure she can get this one. There we go. Hitting a bit too early on those first couple shots, but we got there. And just make this go by faster. Let's not do a little one-by-one here. Just get them all in one go. Somebody's having a barbecue or something outside. Can definitely smell it for sure. Yeah, I had a feeling that first jump was, or the second jump was not going to cut it there. This has always been a particularly odd jump to try and make. There we go. Nope. Okay, that was just my own fault for timing it wrong. There we go. All for a Defend Plus that will probably never get used. You can sell your duplicate badges, so maybe I'll end up selling. I doubt coins are going to be an issue, based on the fact that I've got way more than normal, and I also know that guy is going to come back and give me 900 later on. Because I gave him 300, and he gives you a 3x whatever you gave to him. So I don't think it's going to be an issue, but if you are hurting for money, you can sell your duplicate badges at the badge shop. Which will probably be another place I'll check out here in a second. I don't think there's too much else to roam around Rogueport Sewers for. Most of what the paper boat is used for in Rogueport Sewers, you also need an ability that you get with the Ultra Boots, which we don't have yet. We won't get until end of the next chapter, I think. We'll get the warp for this whenever we get the Crystal Star put up, so I'll come back this way. Of course, it's going to send us to Frankly after we put in the star, so... oh well. I do want to fight the Magic Koopas, because I did fight the colored ones. Most of the, like, the white, the green, and the red were in Chapter 3, but I don't think I have fought blue yet. Looks like I have not. Yeah, that must be charcoal. That's gotta be. Charcoal has a very distinct smell, and I'm pretty sure I'm smelling charcoal. That's Magic Koopa, you know, the Koopa Wizard. Max HP is 7, attack is 4, defense is 0. Throwing a load of pain our way while using magic to help its buddies. What a creep. And there's only one of them that splits up into multiple copies to mess with us. Stop this thing fast or we'll be in for a world of hurt. I can do that. Booyah. Plus, I'm very sure I've also seen my neighbors that are literally right next to me have a charcoal grill, or they have a grill. I don't know if it's a charcoal grill, but they have a grill, and it looks like a charcoal grill, so I'm assuming that's probably what it is. I did use my flat iron grill, so I'm gonna double make sure that that's not plugged in still. I don't think it is. I didn't think so. I used it this morning to make some quesadillas. Nothing fancy. We're at that time towards the end of the month where I'm waiting for a paycheck to go and get new groceries. Which thankfully I don't live paycheck to paycheck. It's that I'm planning on making a big trip overseas next year, and so most of my paycheck is going into a different savings account, so I'm not hurting for finance. I'm good. We're all good there. I have been putting in a fair bit because, like, I really want to make absolutely sure I've got enough money because it's going to be going to the same convention. I can have this conversation while I'm still walking. I don't know why I stopped moving. I'll be going to the same convention that my close group of friends are at right now. Like, it is literally going on right now. They're, like, halfway through it next year. And I've got one friend from the U.S. that is from Seattle that flew over there. So I've told him to keep doesn't even have to be, like, a perfect, just a rough estimate of about how much total he's spent there, and then that will give me an idea of, like, am I saving up not enough? You can't really save up too much, but am I saving up not enough? Am I right on track? Like, you know, where am I on that? If I quote-unquote save up too much and, you know, I've got a couple grand left over, I think it's high time, since we're streaming this on a laptop, it's high time that my old PC tower retire and I get a new one. I've had this current tower that's below me since middle school. The end of middle school, start of high school, so it's a little old. It still runs, it still works, it's very slow, but yeah, I think it's time to let it rest. Haven't been to a convention. I mean, it's hard to say, like, which one you'd want to go to, be it, like, a gaming convention, music festival, like, whatever your interest is in particular for stuff you'd want to go to. The big key is, like, going with a group of friends. Like, going solo is okay, but it's entirely dependent on the group you're with, and if you have a big group, not even necessarily, like, rooming with you, just, you know, we'll say, like, 6 or 7 people that are all going to this convention, then if one group of friends is busy, like, these 2 people are busy, okay, let's see how person 3 or 4 is doing, and then we'll go check in on person 5. So that there will almost always be at least one person that's free to do something with you. The last convention I went to was 2019, so that was pre-COVID, which sounds insane because that was 4 years ago. But yes, it was pre-COVID. COVID was 2020, technically. I know 2019. I do know how to do math, for the record. But yeah, going is fun. I would recommend one that's, like, semi-close by, and when I say semi-close by, I mean in the same country that you're in, so in your case, US, same as me. That you know that friends are going to, and if you find out if it's something that you enjoy, then, you know, try it for a bigger one. We got one from Little Ghost. Thanks, Jay. My capture friends. I share you with a tip. There's still lots of treasures in Creepy Steeple. Knowing you probably found it all. We'll enjoy your not so useless adventure. You're not useless, friend. We love you. He's a good boy. I'm a good little ghost. Everybody loves them. Good boys. Oh, right. I forgot this was here, too. I keep going to the start menu again. I'm used to original game because I played it so many times. I don't think this one actually has anything to offer me, not even like a star piece that's hidden. Could be wrong about that, but we'll see. I think actually most of these do have a star piece in them, just like hidden. Oh, maybe not this one. What do you do? Oh yeah, you're the one that changes like the yeah, no, I'm good. You can go there and like swap 5 HP for 5 FP or 5 FP for 3 BP, that kind of thing. But I don't do those, so I'm good. But yeah, a big bulk of going to conventions is entirely like who you're going to meet up with and room with. And I know, at least in the UK, rooming situations are very different because you can only have a max of 2 people per room as opposed to US ones where you can kind of just essentially have as many people rooming with you as there is space to room. So it is different over there for sure. Oh right, I was going to go back and unlock the warp for Keelhaul Key. Let's go and do that. But like for me in particular, yeah, it'll definitely be like who I am getting to hang out with. I'd already told them very specifically, like, even if I couldn't make that convention, which there's no reason that there's one reason that I couldn't. Maybe 2, but mostly 1. One would be a sudden death in the family, which, while impossible, or, which, while unlikely, is not impossible. The other would be with the person that I've agreed to room with. They have a big enough convention that they do a lottery where you basically put your name in the lottery and not everybody can get a room at the hotel. You can still just room at a different hotel, obviously. I'm gonna grab a coconut while I'm here. How am I doing on items? I'm full on items. But I would actually be skipping the lottery entirely if I was to room with that person because they're part of the convention staff and therefore they obviously have to be at the hotel. Duh. But he's also extremely forgetful about things that were literally told to him less than 10 minutes ago. Like, even worse than me, yes. I realize pot calling kettle black, I know. But he's even worse than me. So, like, multiple people will constantly be reminding him, like, hey, you're rooming with Delta. Like, we've been reminding him about this since January of this year, and the con is in May of next year. And we will continue to do this, and there is still a better than even chance he will forget. I know. Like I said, really not good at remembering things. But I also know that a lot of people that I know through him mutually that live in the UK have also threatened to break his kneecaps because they really want me to go. So they're like, if you forget, I'm afraid we'll have to kill you. We'll have to trade your life for his. We'll have him move here and we'll kill you. It seemed like a fair trade. And they're half joking about that, but I don't think they're fully joking. I think they're at least a little bit serious about wanting to kill him for that, if he does forget. So, stay tuned for about this time next year, I suppose. But, like, even on the off chance that I wouldn't be able to go for one reason or another, whatever the reason would be, I would still probably go and visit the UK next year. Maybe not at the holidays, but closer to the holidays. Probably not dead of winter, because, you know, I can't handle cold well. That's why I live in Texas. The cold is not for me. So, winter over there, no thanks. But, like, fall would be completely doable, for sure. One of the upsides growing up is not because of like wealth or anything, but just because with traveling there's 2 key facets, right? There's where you're going and who you're going with / who you're going to visit. I'm gonna grab both of these. And going with my folks just meant trips were usually not fun at all. That's why I didn't go to the one in Switzerland despite the fact that it was like fully paid for, is I didn't want to go because I knew it wouldn't be fun, and I was proven correct. by the fact that they basically, despite the fact we're in a completely different country, and a very beautiful country at that, most of their time was spent in the hotel not doing anything. And that's not what I would do. But I know if I went there and visit them, like, we would, you know, hang out, go... They could show me all the places that are near and dear to their heart, be they for traveling, for food, for whatever. So even if I didn't go to the convention, I would still absolutely want to go. So even if I can't make it to the con, at some point I will be visiting the UK next year, barring my inability to go due to me randomly dying, basically. And I'm very much looking forward to that. I have been given the blessing for my mom of, like, even though she is in a point where she definitely can't, I mean, she can ride in a car for maybe 2 hours without getting sick or without having to fully stop. Where are we going from here? I guess it's just the Poshley Heights. I'm going to check and see if anything got added to the bulletin board. I don't think so, but I do want to check and see if I can get party members ultra ranked. Yeah, here you are. In the House of the Dragon that flew through the air beyond the reversible stair, near the empty black chest cursed to you, lies a clue to help your allies learn. I have no idea what it means. I have no doubt its importance. Figure out this mystery, come tell me. I don't want to go all the way back to Hooktail's castle, so I'm gonna try and just do the puzzle without the hint, quote unquote. I'm not completely sure that's right. I might be thinking the original game, but I'm gonna double check. No, you do actually have to go and get it. Well, that sucks. Alright, well, we're gonna go and get it, because I want to start ultra-ranking my party members before I go into the next chapter. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer, but what are you gonna do, right? It's actually probably faster to not take the warp, because the warp puts you in Petalburg, and the normal pipe actually puts you right outside of Hooktail's castle, so it is actually likely faster, or roughly the same speed, to just take the normal path. But yeah, I've been given the blessing to go and essentially live my own life and not constantly take care of my folks. They took care of me for 14 years. I've now officially taken care of them for 14 years. So while I wouldn't say my conscience is necessarily clean, I've been given the blessing to go and do so. Oh, you need the pipe for that. I was like, how are you supposed to get over there? And sure, there's always, like, the worry of, oh, something horrible happened and one or both of them will pass away while I'm gone over there. But, like, you could get hit by a car walking out to your mailbox, too, you know? Like, there's never going to be a time that it's not a risk until they're not here anymore altogether, so... Would be running that risk whether I go or whether I don't. But I appreciate that at the very least. I don't know if my dad understands, but my mom understands of, like, hey, you know, you've been an adult for a while now. Like, you've built up finance, you've lived your own life, you've gotten to explore other interests, you've got your own apartment where you can live your life and not have to constantly be worrying about us, which I still do anyway. So it's only fair that the point of life, or one of the big points of life, is to live it. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice to actually get the chance to, like, travel and go see friends around the world. I've always said, like, once my folks pass and I've got that, most of that money will be put away to savings, but I do want to travel, like, to get to go all the places that I wanted to, but also that they never got the chance to go to. Whether because they didn't want to go there and I did, or, you know, the travel was too difficult, or whatever. But, like, being able to go to UK, being able to go to Germany, Japan, New Zealand, all those spots. Let's get all those little things off there. Alright. That's not the right button. There we go. Actually, I don't think we need to go up here. I think it's here, isn't it? Oh, there's also a battle here. Needless to say, I'm also very glad that with all of my very close friends being at that convention this year. Which is weird to say that they're probably the... Hello? Somebody was practicing throwing cinder blocks at their door, I guess. I don't know what that noise was. It's weird to say that even though I've only known them for a year, they're probably the closest friends that I've ever had. Despite the fact that I still have friends from, like, middle school. Like, literally people that I've known for more than half of my life. I don't know why. Well, I do know why that is, but it's still weird. It's because you don't have all the baggage of them remembering all the cringy parts of you when you were a teenager, preteen, all that stuff. I'm sure that's part of it. Oh, look, a switch. We came all this way for an up arrow. It's unclear what this means. You should ask somebody. Super. Excuse me, is my name not Super the Mario? What do you think my first and last name is? Mario Mario? That would be stupid, wouldn't it? Oh, wait. But yeah, I'm very glad this game came out when it did, because this is doing a very good job of distracting me. But I wouldn't even say I'm sad of, like, oh, all my friends are getting to do this cool thing and I'm not there with them, but it's just like, I kind of miss having them around. Which is a very unusual feeling for me, and I'm well aware that's odd to say of, like, you've never really missed someone before? I could probably count the number of times I've missed somebody that I knew was just gone temporarily on one hand. There's a difference between missing someone because they're dead and missing someone because, oh, they're off on, you know, vacation for a week or whatever. Because they've all been hanging out in the same location for about 2 weeks, and it's just been me here. But I also don't want to tell them, not because I'm embarrassed about it, but I want them to enjoy their time at the convention and not think about it. So I'd only told one of them that. But he kind of had some time by himself to reflect while he was at the convention. I was like, for the record, I do miss y'all a lot, but just, like, don't mention that to anybody else, because I want them to enjoy that experience and time and whatnot. Like, we'll have more time between now and then again next year when we actually all get to be there. Luckily, I can say that here, because they won't watch this stream. Even if they were to watch Paper Mario, they would not be this far in. There's no way. There's just no way. If they do, I'm so dead. They're gonna be like, you really missed us. And then I'll give them a flat glare and tell them to go away. As is tradition. But the good news is we've got a VR convention coming up very soon, which is on the 6th, or starts on the 6th, so their convention ends the 28th, I think, so obviously they'll all be back in their houses, apartments, etc. sometime between the 28th and the 6th, and then we'll all be going to that convention together, which will be nice. So if they're sick of each other by then, they'll probably all want to hang out with me. I don't know. That'll be a weird feeling. Oh, that's cool. You can mess with, like, the little baubles or whatever. I didn't even see those. Well, I did see them, but I didn't know you could mess with them. An up arrow? An up arrow? Up? Yes, it's a direction. And then he smashed his head into the wall. This is the Ultra Stone, so that is what that star sign meant. I picked this up at the flea market years ago and forgot it was in the attic. This like empower up your partners even more. So if that's just like factually better than the other one, then why weren't you using that? Well, whatever. It's probably fine. Alright, so we've got 3 total out of 7 currently to pick from. I'm definitely picking Goombella. I use her a lot, so having the damage up would help. Her ability is basically giving up her turn to let Mario have another turn, which is not horrible. You'd think it would be kind of pointless, but there are times where that could come in handy, for sure. Attack all ground enemies, I don't really care that much about. He already has an attack all ground enemies, so it would be mostly for the HP and the damage. Dodgy Fog to make Mario foggy, I don't care about that at all. And I don't use her normally anyway. Stampede to attack all ground enemies is okay as long as you're fighting enemies that don't have a lot of defense or any defense. Infatuate to confuse all enemies, but Vivian is pretty good for her base attack, so upping that by 1 would be good. Bombast to attack all enemies is pretty good, the damage up would be nice. And Smooch to boost Mario's HP, so I think Vivian and Bobbery are the winners here for me. And of course, we'll get all of them powered up, but this is all we can do right now, I think. There might be 1 or 2 Shine Sprites I could pick up now, but I don't think there's enough to get 3. The other big upside of leveling up Bobbery a second time is he has the highest HP of any party member in the game when he's fully leveled up at a whopping 40. Which, bearing in mind, mine is at 15 only because of an HP plus badge. Otherwise, it would be at 10. Pretty insane. Okay, I'm gonna check the bulletin board again now that I put the crystal star in there. I don't think anything's gonna be there new. Yeah, and even if there was, I did the ultra rank thing, which was the thing I really cared about doing. Here's his massive 40 HP. Vivian will be at 30. Goombella will be at 30, which are also pretty good. Really, anything higher than like 25 is pretty good, and I think Koops is the only one that doesn't make it past 25. I think he makes it at 25, but he also has a point of defense added to him, so it kind of balances that out. So it's not too terribly bad. I don't think there's anything that I want to do at this particular moment other than check the badge shop. Because like I said, I don't think there's enough Shine Sprites to be able to get 3 currently without going into Chapter 6. I mean, I could check some of these items. I'll probably do that. I'll probably sell the honey syrups and check the coconuts. BP, there's nothing to do. Check new badges, but other than that, there's nothing to do. As for the other stuff that I just skipped over, because I brain farted, getting all the Shine Sprites for Chapter 4. Creepy Steeple, where would I have missed a Shine Sprite? There's one there, and then this one is under Rogueport. We know that there's at least one that I can't get. This is all the star pieces. I'm definitely waiting on that until basically the end of the game. Recipes, pretty much the same thing. Badge list. We're picking them up as we go, but we can't get all of them because I know for a fact some of them are in the final chapter. Here's the crystal stars. The tattlelog. We've tattled everything that we've seen thus far, so... I guess Flavio is so tired he's not singing down there like he normally does. We'll have a little peek in the badge shop here. What do we got? These all look like crap. Yeah, those are pretty much crap. Nothing that I exactly need right now and could not pick up at a later date. I don't suppose you've got the W emblems or the L emblems or anything. Hey, here we go. Change Mario's clothes into Wario's clothes. These are expensive as all get out. I knew they were more expensive going into this game, so... Which I guess the only one he sells is the W emblem. The L emblem is at the end of the next chapter, so you can't get that one for the time being. But you could get that one and the Warrior emblem. Unsurprisingly, that's not the right button. Unsurprisingly, it does not cost anything. So, let's check some items here. We're actually gonna be out of space here. Or no, I'm only putting away the coconuts. I'm selling honey syrups. Keeping a pretty low inventory for once here, but we've got more to keep my HP and FP up using the crystal stars, both having more star power to use and more abilities to use, so we should be okay on that front. So now we would be heading to Poshley Heights. Do I want to do all the side questing for that now? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it now. We'll go ahead and do this. No, I don't know. Nah, you know what? I think we'll wait. I think we'll wait on it. There's already a 3-hour one. I'm trying to keep each chapter kind of contained, so like doing the prereq for Chapter 6 kind of feels like it should be in the video for Chapter 6. So I think this will be a good spot to save. Let's see, it's 2:15. I think I'm going to take a break for lunch, potentially, and then I might come back and do more of Chapter 6. It will depend on how tired I am, but I do need to get some rest before work tonight, so no promises on that for sure. We'll see how I'm doing, but I do want to try to get at least a little bit of sleep in. We'll see. Theoretically, I'd want to try to start somewhere between 4 and 5. It's 2:16 now, and then, like, be done by 7. This took 3.5 hours. So probably I would try to start at like 4:30 and be done at 7:30 would be my guess, but no promises on that. Just keep updated on Twitter and Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and when I go live here, if you're following me on here. And we'll continue more of this. I am curious though. I'm gonna save one more time. It should be at 18 hours. I should already know the answer to this because I saw it whenever we logged in, and I just add the time that I had from that. Where is it? There it is. It's a title screen. I think it's roughly 18 hours. Because I think it was roughly 15, unless I'm thinking it was 12 and now it's 15. Nope, 18 and a half. I did remember correctly. That's good. And I'm at level 16. That seems like I should be a little bit higher level than that, but I've also been fighting almost everything, so maybe not. I don't know. I did tattle, but was unable to kill because it fled the Amazy Daisy. Maybe that would have put me at 17, but something tells me probably not. But that also, I feel like I'm at a good level for how I'm doing damage-wise and stuff, so it's probably fine. Yeah, we will take a break for a late lunch and the like, and I will, if I continue to stream, I'll be back in about 2-ish hours, give or take. We'll see. Till then, take care, and I'm going to try to work on getting all the streams of Thousand Door archived tonight while I'm at work, depending on how busy it is, so expect to see those up on the archive channel. Until then, I will potentially see y'all in a little bit. If I don't stream more this afternoon, this late afternoon, then I will probably try to tomorrow, depending on how tired I am. Not immediately after work, but I'll try to do some in the afternoon. We'll see how that goes. Either way, see you guys later.